So, Metal Gear Rise and Revenge is pretty
Fuck.
good.
Dude, we're starting today.
Dude, you're,
Started.
bruh. Out of all the things you could think of, that's what you thought of?
It's a pretty good game, man. Everybody should play it. You know,
I
you
mean,
get to use a ninja sword. It's nothing like
true.
Metal Gear.
True.
You know, you don't do stealth shit. You just get to slice people in half.
Mm. I mean, I have the game, right? Like, I was gifted it. I just haven't played it. Like, I played it on my friend's family share, right? So I have, like, progress in it. But I don't have, like, I'm not done it. You know what I mean? So,
I don't think Vic's
that's...
played it. He said.
I've seen it played. I have not played it.
Have you played Azura's Wrath?
No.
Oh
no,
my god.
Even though it was
both...
voiced by Liam O'Brien, who was one of
now,
my
Azura's Wrath specifically is like PS3 and Xbox 360, so you have to buy a physical copy.
Yeah, okay, that makes sense.
That's the whole thing about that one, but Metal Gear is on PC, so you can play it. It's that whole thing.
Fair enough.
Like,
Wait, look at this Vic guy, buddy guy, man. What is this?
Buddy guy.
What is your issue, bro?
Year in there, my
12 months, dog. That's crazy.
Buddy guy.
It's crazy. Anyway,
guy.
welcome everybody back to the podcast.
The D.I.P.S.H.I.T.S podcast.
Exactly. A piece of merch came in, which is pretty hype. So got the big desk pad. It's actually huge, like I thought it would be, and actually printed really nice. So I'll open that up and I'll try to show it.
Look at that.
It's pretty nice. It even has like the logo.
It's got
Yeah,
that logo.
it has like the entire background. Like when I was on the builder, right? Like for the thing. And I was like putting the design on. This thing's huge. It doesn't fit in frame. Hold on. Like,
I need one. I need one.
This is cool, man. It's actually pretty nice. Like it's stretchy, durable, kind of nice.
If my desk wasn't so dirty, I'd buy one.
I mean, you could get one anyway. It doesn't matter.
No, I'll end up making it filthy.
Neil, you're having a lot of kitchen noise.
Oh shoot, my bad. My bad. My
Just
bad.
for our Spotify and Apple listeners, I know.
Yeah, I know they hate that
music.
stuff.
It was like Moroccan
hate
music
it.
in the background.
Yep.
You know?
Yeah, you think so?
Which can you, for those of them who can't actually see what you were presenting, can you describe to them what it was and where they can get it?
So basically, I have a what's it called, a merch store under development right now, and I got one of the initial products, which is a really big desk pad. I didn't expect it to be as big as it was, and so basically it's like this really crazy it's like this cool design that I had made from like my offline screen that I put on the big desk pad, and then I put the logo on like the bottom right corner, and then I have like our D.I.P.S.H.I.T.S podcast on the top left. It's super cool looking. Like it printed so much better than I thought it would. Yeah,
it's great.
What is
It even kept the font.
Like a command in chat that I can read off to the audio listeners?
There isn't, I don't think, not yet. And
bucket.
Look, it's all under the link tree, bro. It's all under the link tree.
You absolute pale.
All right, do I have a link tree? On.
How do you expect people to find your shit when you don't put your shit in a link?
Hey, it's usually in the descriptions of all the things, okay? And so like it's not my fault.
Your description's wrong too.
Is it? Is it really wrong?
Are you still 20?
Am I still 20? I'm not. Look, bro. Look, bro. Usually I'm good with this, all right? But like after like the podcast happened, yeah, I'm blaming the podcast for the podcast, all right? That's what I'm doing.
Damn.
That's what I'm doing now.
That's meta.
That's so meta. But I'm blaming the podcast for the podcast
Blame the
because the
podcast because
podcast,
the
it's the
podcast-
podcast fault. All right, all of you listeners, it's
Podcast.
your fault that we actually have people watching. All right, like
How
this
dare
is
you
how
watch?
dare you? How dare all you dipshitters, peoples? How could you do this? Why did you did that? Why do you did that,
What
how
the
could
hell
you?
came out?
bruh? Bruh. Dude, that's crazy. Anyway, so piece of merch, really cool. As I was saying, when I was putting it on, like when I was on the designer on the site, right? And I was putting like all the designs and shit on, it was like showing me like, hey, we don't recommend having like this much like pixels per inch on like this surface area because it might not look great. And then I look at the print, I'm like, dude, this looks amazing. It looks great. It actually looks really good.
Oh yeah, no, like I agreed, the design looks pretty good quality.
All right, but for real, if you guys are trying to check out all their shit, linktr.ee/D.I.P.S.H.I.T.S podcast. That's just what it is.
There you go.
Link.tr.ee/dipshits.
No, linktr.ee. My bad.
Okay.
Sorry.
Link.tr.ee.
I got it.
Podcast.
Don't worry. I got it.
Checking on you right fucking now. All right, and then the bottom link will be merch,
Yes, sir.
which
I did
takes you to store.streamelements.com/diogenrochi.
True. My channel. But hey, look, it has all their stuff on it. It even says it's under construction. I'm trying to pull out some more shit. We'll probably have like a D.I.P.S.H.I.T shirt coming soon.
Yes, that's
Dude,
that's an absolutely necessary.
It is
one.
chopped.
You need that.
Shot.
There's sadly no hats,
Wanna
so
know
I
what
can't
else
make
is
a
chopped?
bucket hat. What's up?
You.
You want to know what else is chopped? I'm absolutely taking this opportunity to segue. Somebody sent me a TikTok today, and I don't do TikTok. You
Oh
know that,
no,
but
me neither.
somebody
it
sent
Dan?
me one today, and it was about COVID, and how a guy is claiming that his ding ding
He's
Is
bing
a-
bing now. He's bing bing now.
shrank by an inch after he had COVID.
Damn.
So I was looking this up, right? Because I have to verify this. I can't just say, oh, COVID means dick shrinkage. You know, you can't just throw that out there, right? Without actually looking it up. Turns out, and I didn't know this. Turns out that shit can affect the endothelial cells that are responsible for, being solid.
Rock hard.
Yes.
You
So
need to have a hard rock.
apparently that shit can cause ED.
Fair
Oh,
enough.
no.
Big
So
COVID.
like it's fair enough if you think you've shrank after you have had COVID, it's probably because you're not achieving full mast, and which makes me think I've had this shit twice. Maybe I should get checked or something.
Yeah, maybe, maybe.
Hey, if that
Probably.
helps everybody get vaccinated, tell them, hey, COVID makes your dick shrink. Get your vaccine.
COVID make your peenie tinier.
It really does. Big COVID makes your peenie weenie a little meanie.
Little meanie.
Punisher.
Oh god damn it.
Dude.
You got the 1-inch pinch
Vic,
and 2-inch
Vic,
Punisher.
if that's the case, man, Big COVID has put you at wit's end. I'm not gonna lie to you.
Great.
It'll be a wit's end with the sight of death's dance.
Jeez, that's a bloodthirster right there.
Mm-hmm. Poor drinker.
Break
Uh,
from me.
Yeah, nobody's getting this. This is going over everybody's head.
You got the Triforce of memes there.
Right.
Slit them and take the blood from my body.
Anyways,
Oh, man.
Oh no.
obscure references that
Obscure
only
references.
horrible people will get. By the way, if you play that game, and I'm including myself in this, you're a scrub.
What game?
You're a degenerate, and never think highly of yourself because you're nothing more than a degenerate. In all honesty, that includes me. I'm a degenerate too. Let's be real.
What are we talking
Degenerate.
about? I missed something.
Degeneracy is sweeping the nation.
When you have to explain a joke, Beast, I'm sorry.
I know. I missed some. I got the joke I thought, but then now I missed
No.
something else entirely.
Yo,
You
big
were
big
absolutely
Covey,
wonderful.
big Covey also does brain cell loss, so make sure you get vaccinated. Just saying. That's
Yeah,
that's
inject
just
that
what
shit
it
in
is,
your veins.
bro.
Right in
I have
there.
I have my 5G chip update, firmware update coming up this week. So like I'm
Nice.
trying
Going
to
up to 60.
get that shit done.
Is Dio finally gonna be on the?
I'm finally
the
gonna be
Meta
on
network?
Android 12. I'm gonna be on the weird Oxygen OS update that's been messing up all the OnePlus 9s.
Oxygen OS.
Yeah, that's actually what the OS is called on OnePlus phones.
No.
Yeah,
No.
I'm not kidding. I'm not
They
kidding.
called it Oxygen.
Yeah. So it went from Cyanogen mod to Oxygen OS, and now it's going to Color OS, I believe.
These names are not good. Like.
Dude, who said
I mean,
that tech companies know how to name shit?
It's not any better than fucking iOS
No, it's not, and I hate Apple though.
Or
Apple's
fucking-
horrible.
or fucking Ubuntu.
What did you just say?
Ubuntu,
Ubuntu?
Arch Linux.
Like,
Actually,
the other
Arch
one that
Linux is not
works
bad.
It's just it's Windows.
Windows,
10.
Windows.
Like
Windows?
I think every
10.
floor that you have a tech service on, you need to have a fantasy writer so he knows how to name shit.
Yeah, like,
The
dude,
dark
what
realm
the,
of the Lord.
Like how AMD chipsets go by ridges and fucking Intel goes by lakes. Why?
Yep. Sky Lake, Alder Lake, Devil's Canyon was their old
What?
one.
Wait, what?
Yeah.
I didn't know these things. Oh,
Yeah.
no.
AMD used to be Bulldozer. Their older chips used to be Bulldozer. Then they
Yes.
went to Ryzen, which is like Matisse. And then
See, I do like Ryzen.
That's a good
Yeah.
name. Yeah, that's what I have.
but their
That's-
architectures are not called Ryzen. Or well, technically they are, but they go by other code names too, like Matisse and like shit like that. But I think they actually clarified it to Zen now, so like it's actually not as bad. Intel's still all about the lakes, Alder Lake, Sky Lake. I don't know, Dingus Lake. I don't know what the hell they got,
Abbey
man.
Lake.
Like,
Cabby
Abby,
Lake.
wait, hold on. What did you say?
Mu-
Abbey Lake?
No,
Abbey
Cabby
Lake, Muffin
Abbey-
Lake. You
The
know,
Great Lakes. The Great Lakes.
Cornflake Lake. I don't know, man.
Bador
I don't know what they
Lake.
want from me.
British
know what they want
Columbia
from me. I'll lie.
Lake. Italian Lake.
So here's a question for you. Talking about like tech and whatnot. The prevailing question about tech is always what's next.
What's
Right.
next? Oh
next?
boy.
Now we look at companies like Intel, we look at companies like AMD. Obviously they're at the basis for what we, as most of us here, are gamers, right? Some people that are probably listening are not gamers, but deal with other facets of the tech industry, like
They know what a video
productivity,
game is.
like people who do video editing, who do design and animation, who do graphic design, who do music.
Enterprise.
Still others, absolutely. And other people who are just straight up entrepreneurs who make their own livings and self-employed off of things that happen in the tech industry. And the tech industry affects almost everything. Have you noticed one fucking semiconductor shortage? We're having graphics cards problems. We're having automobile problems. The list goes on.
Phone problems. Don't
Phone
forget phone
problems.
problems.
Like there's more than just that too, but those like the big three, right? Are
Yeah.
the
Yeah.
graphics cards,
It-
cars,
ridiculous.
and phones, right?
It's
And
ridiculous.
because of all this, because of this shortage here.
And consoles. Don't forget consoles.
Yeah, and the prices, what are they
yeah.
doing? They're going like this, right?
Mm-hmm.
They are
To buy a
Mhm.
graphics card right now, it is cheaper to buy a pre-built computer than it is to buy a graphics card right now.
Dude, it's
you can
cheaper.
You can buy a
pre-built
computer with a
computer?
3080
Sure.
for cheaper than buying a 3080.
Dude,
yeah,
it's
yeah,
cheap.
exactly.
It's
That's the problem.
cheaper to import a Romanian than to get a 3090
I
right
swear
now.
to God.
I'm
100%.
telling you.
Always have to take a dig at Dan. All right.
Bro, I
So
saw a computer that was literally $3,000 and a card that was 45.
Yeah.
45.
It's-
Fuck, I can't
for
speak.
the first time in history that I can remember, laptops are actually cheaper than desktops.
Yes.
Mhm.
And you
Yeah,
usually pay like
100%.
twice the cost for the portability.
Yes.
But now
True.
it's because you can't rip a graphics card out of a laptop and make it mine.
No, it's integrated usually or whatever.
Usually, yeah. So that's why laptops right now, like if you're in the market for something, a laptop is the best thing to go for right now.
Mhm.
But the big question for me, like I always stray towards like gaming and experiences because me as somebody who likes to run things like D&D, and just tries to create environments for people to enjoy, the first thing I think about is virtual reality or augmented reality, right? So
Yes.
VR or AR, right?
Yes.
We already have a company working on something called Half Dive, which is kind of a lay down virtual reality. What should we call it? It's can I English, please? Can I get the word?
We're all getting tongue tied, dead damn.
I can
Right? No,
continue for you.
It is a gear set. I'm just gonna say that until I get the word.
Gears that.
Yeah, a set of gear.
It's a
How-
VR kit.
Kit. Thank you. Kit.
Thank you.
A VR kit that you control whilst laying down. Now, it's obviously not full dive. We've all heard of it. We've all, we've at least heard of Sword Art Online, right? Everybody looks at that as like the end game of what VR or AR is going to be capable of. The question is, how close is that? Because they're already talking about, Elon Musk is already talking about chip implants, right?
He's
Have you
him. He's the
I don't know if I'm
closest.
willing to go
I
that
think.
far.
He is the closest to getting to full dive technology. Him and Gabe Newell.
Yeah, exactly. I saw recently. I was sitting a couple seasons back, right? I was watching an anime that was called like Full Dive, yada yada yada. Right?
Yeah,
Where
yeah, yeah.
They actually had a really interesting system where they sat down in like a chair, right? And then the chair was like the controller, sort of. And then they would just go into the full dive, and I was like, that's much different than with the fucking full helmet and shit. I was like, that's like even more in the future. I'm like, that's further away, but that's still super cool to me, just to be able to sit into a chair, put your game in, and be like, boom, you're good to go.
Yeah, I want to sit in
That's-
my secret lab chair and just go full dive. Like, come on.
That's what I'm saying. Wouldn't that be amazing, just to sit down in your chair and then you're gone? Just
Well,
like
there's
that.
and there's multiple versions of this kind of simulation, right?
Mhm.
So you have the SAO version where there's a helmet
Yes, exactly.
and
sit
you lay down,
lay down.
it
Yeah.
paralyzes you.
The
So you can
jack
do
in.
stuff,
Yeah.
right? Then you have the one that you were talking about where you sit in a chair, right?
Yeah.
Then we have let's go even older into cinema history, right? Let's go into the Matrix. That's another way to
Of course,
experience
yeah.
virtual,
Of course, yeah.
right? And the first way that I think anybody ever saw to experience a virtual world, I'm gonna bring you guys back, was the holodecks in Star Trek.
Mm. I
Holodeck
think I
and
get what
Star
you're
Trek.
saying. Yeah, 100%. I didn't watch
I
Star Trek.
cannot follow on that one.
I know what it is,
It's
but I did not
basically
watch
what
Star Trek.
they did is they stepped into a blank room, and I believe the X-Men had like a training facility that was like this
Okay.
too.
A lot of things have copied the type of holodeck
Yeah, so
form. Yeah.
You have a blank room, you push a couple buttons, and it turns into like a lush forest. And
Mhm.
Yeah.
that log,
train.
you can climb on that log and over it, right? It makes things solid. And you can walk as far as you want. You still haven't hit the wall of that room. How?
Because the world is
How
literally
you
moving
did that?
around you.
How did you did
The
that?
walls are moving and everything, and
It
it's
is like
crazy
all of
shit.
these different ways that you can experience these alternate realities, right? Which ones are feasible and possible? Could we make a holodeck at some point? What
that
would
would
it
be amazing.
do so?
That would
Would
be
you?
like a VR room, basically.
I think a more
Basically-
modern reference to the holodeck, as you were talking about from Star Trek, is if for those of you who have played Final Fantasy VII Remake, when you're in the Shinra facility
Yeah.
and you go into the simulation rooms, That's exactly what it's like.
I have
Yeah.
not played yet, but I get what you're saying.
It's not that big of a
I know it's
spoiler.
not a
It's just a
spoiler. I don't
room.
care. No,
Yeah.
I'm not saying that. I don't. I'm
Yeah.
just saying I don't know. I don't know.
Yeah, yeah.
I don't care. I know it's not a spoiler. Trust me.
It's for
I care
those
about
who,
story,
those who
not
have
about
played it,
area.
right? It's more up to
I
date.
care about the
But the thing is, the thing that I think about is it can be used for so much more than just gaming, because what is one of the biggest issues we have as like online friends? We never get to hang out, right?
True.
What
We
if we
can't
could
touch
just
each
both
other. I know it sounds weird,
holodeck,
but we can't like shake hands or hug or anything like that. Yeah.
both
There's a
step
limit.
into a holodeck and project our images over to each other's holodecks and sit down for a bowl of ramen together?
Literally, you
Hell
know, like,
yeah. I'd do
Fucking
that.
play a board game, not on tabletop simulator.
Right?
Like that type
Dude,
of shit.
I wouldn't
Flip the
mind.
table in person.
Yeah, I
exactly.
wouldn't
He gets
mind
it.
going
He gets
into
it.
into a game like that, playing Monopoly, and then beating someone's ass for like
But it does,
just. It's like, hey, my
Oh,
strength stats at like 15. You're at 12. All right, your ass is getting beat for beating me in Monopoly.
And then obviously we have like baby versions of this with things like VR chat.
Yeah.
Like we do have like smaller,
Still
minor
requires, like,
versions.
the helmet and the controllers and like
Exactly.
the body tracking.
That
you
is
wanna do
still
part.
100%. I 100% say this to everybody. Once you're at like the age of 12 or whatever, you should definitely try VR. Like you should, because it is an experience.
Mhm.
Like,
Somebody's bringing up the concept of haptic suits. I've actually seen a
Haptic
couple of these
suits.
things demoed.
is that like a
to
full like
where,
mocap
like,
type suit thing?
A haptic suit is something that it gives you sensory feedback. So
Oh, you're
if
talking about when they touch you, you feel it, right?
yeah, you feel you get shot and it hurts.
Well,
Like-
yeah, it goes like that, and you're like,
Yeah.
Oh, that would be
Yeah.
crazy.
That's
So-
the part that scares me, like death
Right.
and like and hurt and pain. I'm like, I don't want to be in pain.
Right.
Dude, imagine
like,
smashing
having-
with your friend while wearing haptic suits.
Imagine a Monster Hunter, you get hit by the Rathalos and you go flying in your actual room.
There's already a VR mod for Monster Hunter Rise.
No fucking way.
No
Really?
shot.
Still, it's third person still, so you're still running around with your controller and everything like that. But like your camera is behind. You see the HUD around the character, and you're moving your head around and looking at the environment while your character's running around.
Oh,
See, that's really cool.
I might try it. I
So-
might have to try it.
Did you guys hear about the thing that happened a couple years back with Iceborne when it came out? How they there was like these VR headsets they had, wireless, I think, if I remember correctly, for some reason. It was
In Quest
wireless, and they
2s.
had these backpacks, right? I don't know if it was Quest 2s, but they had these backpacks. And then they had, for a controller, they didn't have the grabbies or whatever. No, they had a literal stick weapon as a fucking controller in Monster Hunter, and they were
Oh.
swinging around the like the long sword, and like this one
Yeah,
guy,
yeah.
he goes like this with the sword, and it starts to charge up like the great sword, and it was like boom and shit, and I was just like, that's sick. I was like, that's fucking sick, you know?
Yeah, I actually remember this back 3 years ago when I went to LTX,
And it had little
right?
gloves on.
And there was actually a booth in LTX where people were playing like this dungeon crawling game exactly the way you were describing it. They had these foam sticks, right? Like these foam rods with like these little these big like white dots on it, like these orbs, and they were stuck on them. And they were swinging around like maniacs, swinging at things on the screen, right? Like, I'm looking at these people, I'm like, you guys look ridiculous. But I'm looking at what the hell's happening on the big-ass projector.
It doesn't
that-
look ridiculous.
And I'm like, bro, this is sick. I never ended up
Yeah.
trying it because the booth closed. But I was like, dude, this is sick. That's so sick.
It's- some of the VR games we have coming out nowadays, like are ridiculously amazing.
Mhm.
It's kind of crazy. Like I'm trying to think. There was this one that came out recently, and I think it's called like After the Fall or something. And it's like a co-op.
I've heard that name.
Like, yeah, it's like a co-op shooter, and it looks so fucking cool. And then there's another one coming out that Nag showed me actually, where you get to like make makeshift weapons. Like literally, he takes forks and knives and shoves them into a toaster, and then shoots them out of the toaster.
Oh
Then takes the toaster and duct tapes it onto the end of a stick and uses it as a mallet.
that's awesome. So it's physics
And you can
based.
do that in the game. You get to do that in the fucking game.
That's crazy.
It's So cool, like the shit that we're
I haven't
getting with
tried
VR
that.
now. It's so fucking cool. I don't know if it's out yet. That's the whole thing about that.
Oh, gotcha. After the fall, you
Okay.
said?
After the fall, I think is out. I believe after the fall is out.
Oh, so that other game is not.
No, I don't think it's out yet. Nags will definitely fucking update me when it comes out because I told him I was like, you fucking tell me, like you fucking tell me.
You tell me, and I
You
will.
tell me and I
You tell
tell.
me. You tell me, and I'll rip it for you, bro.
Linda,
I'll rip it for you. Just tell me, and I'll rip it for you.
Bro, I will buy a video game. You can play through me, but I buy video game.
This
So-
guy, number one bullshit guy.
Number one bullshit guy.
Oh, I got you. I got you.
Oh, you see this guy? See this guy? Number one bullshit guy. He do the wee woo wee woo.
I still say it's fine. That sounds like Tyler to me.
Why does that sound like
Sounds-
Tyler to you? You just
I
sounds like a
don't know.
brown
It
dude.
just, bro, it
Just-
sounds like Tyler mixed with a brown dude.
That's weird.
It's fucking weird. I know. It's just what I hear though, man.
That's actually
Blame my
weird,
e-
dude.
Blame my ears, not me.
Fair enough. Fair enough.
I don't choose to hear it that way.
So now we have a Dan sound and a Tyler sound.
You know what I want to see a little
I'm
bit
drinking
more
water, you fuck.
is asymmetrical VR games.
Asymmetrical VR.
So in these, usually one person, it's one side or one person on the VR set. The other ones are using keyboard, mouse, or controller or whatever they're doing, right? So,
Okay.
one of them that I remember from the early, like I'm talking Oculus Dev Kit 1 days.
Okay, like
Mhm.
OG. Okay.
Like a boss battle type thing. It was a 1v1 type, much faster than say Monster Hunter, right? But it was about the same perspective, but you're zipping around like Ninja Gaiden,
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
And the person in VR has the face and the hands, and you're literally grabbing them and chucking them against rocks, catching them in midair, fucking holding them underwater, watching the bubble stop, like.
And your
basically a
boy on
murderous
mouse and
god.
keyboard is sitting there like, what the hell, man?
Shit. Oh no, but like they're zippy though, so it's hard to catch them.
Yeah,
There was another one that's really like one of those like I don't want to say it's less social deduction, more blended with the crowd type games like Murderous Market and a lot of those. We have
Okay.
Oh,
Yeah,
like that, and like that one
pretend
sniper
to be like
game.
an
Yeah, like
and-
that one sniper game.
kind of like that, yeah. Except
Yeah.
the person on the headset with the VR is this big entity in the sky, and you're picking up these little mannequin robot things and you're shredding them one by one, trying to figure out which one is the players. And before they activate, like
Oh,
Let me guess, you get negative points though if you eat the wrong one or whatever, right? Yeah.
that's cool.
I don't remember what that game is called. I will find it if I can.
Sounds cool.
It's like
but I would love more of those.
it's like that
but-
murder party game where like you're a sniper and you have to look through
Yeah,
the
that's what I was
NPCs
saying,
to
that's
see
what I was
which
just saying,
player
yeah.
is not the NPC.
Yeah, and then they have to disguise themselves while doing their objective, like stealing items or whatever.
Well, no,
Yeah,
it's actually like a small room, right? So this game is basically you're in a small room, right?
Yeah.
Probably like
We're
2
talking about the
rooms
same
big,
game, Dio. I know we are.
right?
Yeah.
And you are disguised as one of like 10 different
like,
NPCs.
Yeah.
So basically, what you're trying to do is you're the agent, right? The person who if the person acting as the NPC, you're the agent, and what you're supposed to do is you're supposed to complete a certain set of objectives before the sniper, who has a laser. You can see the laser, so it's pressure,
Figures it
right?
out.
So like the laser's actually going through the room. You're like, oh shit, oh shit, oh shit, and basically you're trying to finish all these objectives before the sniper shoots you.
Because the sniper has to figure out which one is you.
Mm-hmm.
By
But if
count-
the
by
sniper
watching
shoots the
patterns.
wrong person, game over and you win.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, because
Mhm.
in that game it's like they shoot one, you're done. You're done.
Mhm.
But there's also these social platforms that I want to see get developed a lot more. Like, I would love to see a combination between VR chat and Blade and Sorcery.
Yeah,
So,
that type of thing.
A lot of people know what VR chat is. So it's basically,
The social
I don't
network.
want to call it Second Life, but
No, it's a
it's-
social network.
it is. It's where you get on VR, you pop in, you hang out with your friends. You don't actually need VR to use the damn thing. Anybody
Yeah,
with a
and
PC
you can play
Get on it.
games, different things. You can go just relax in a world and talk to your friends if you really want to. Like
And
it's
then
all there's
Blade
plenty
of
of options.
Sorcery has
Yeah.
a very well developed weapons and physics system.
Yeah, the combat
So
is great.
if we could combine those two things, can you imagine like the RPG style like dungeon raids and stuff like that we could go on and people could build
Mhm.
for us?
Hot
If
take,
Hmm.
if you don't mind, PlayStation Home. If you remember
No,
that,
I remember that.
PlayStation Home.
No,
So if you
no.
don't remember
Oh,
back in the early
no.
days of PlayStation 3,
no.
they had a thing called PlayStation Home, which is basically VR chat without the VR.
And it was third person.
Yeah. So you
It
made
was
your
like
own
this- you were
avatars
like a
with your own
sim. You
user.
made like a sim.
Yeah,
literally
you
made like a
basically
sim.
made your own sim that you controlled in third person, and you would go around and talk to people. And it was just a
That's it.
straight up chat hub platform game. That's all it
And you
was.
could choose to have the mic on or have it off. If you had it
Mhm.
on, you'd hear and then just like the worst noises. Like it was the worst. You would hear
Sounds
everything.
awful.
You would
Sadly,
hear everything.
PlayStation Home is a shell of what it was could have been, because it was just ruined.
Not a bad idea.
It was a great idea, and it just wasn't executed well. So, and
It
there's
became
so
a
many
toxic cesspool.
cool, yeah. I mean, this is PS3 we're talking about. Most of like the Call of Duty kid,
That's
5-year-olds
Xbox
went
360
into,
era too. Like
yeah, yeah.
that's the shitters.
Yeah,
Hi, I'm
this
there.
is
That's
the
me.
shitter
I'm
area.
The shitter.
That's the
I'm the
shitter
shitter.
era, yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
But I
remember
wish.
I used to play Halo 4 with my sister on Xbox Live on the 360.
Halo 4.
Oh boy. See, okay, I used to piss people off though, because my favorite thing ever since they started allowing it in Halo games was assassinations.
Oh no, they're great. They're from Reach. They're
Yeah.
from Reach. Yeah.
Reach that did it first. So in Halo, you have these commendations that they'll give you. At least in Halo 4, they did, where you'd have like novice, advanced, expert, adept,
work.
master.
What
Yeah.
work?
Yeah, the wetworks armor you get from So I got my master assassin commendation by rank 24 because all I did was sit in the corner with my camo on. Somebody run by, I chase after him, tackle him, stab their ass. And then
You're such a
corner.
meme.
Oh, dude, I loved it so much, and I loved it because in 4 it would cycle through random assassination animations. So it
Mhm.
was
It
kind
does
of
that
fresh
in
every.
Reach.
Yeah,
too.
did that reach too.
Yeah.
And then, but in 5 they actually had you equip the assassinations. I'm like, I kind of like it better when it was random. But
Mhm.
'cause then eventually you get the one where you just spear them, tackle them, just pull out the knife and just straight into the
Yeah,
visor.
yeah.
The cool thing is they would
I
have
love that.
different. They would have different assassinations depending on how you came up to the person.
Mhm.
Like for instance, they'd have like
Like,
4 or 5
times
different assassinations for each position. So like if
Yeah.
you came up crouching to somebody, you might get like a trip and then a stab or something. If you came and dropped on top of somebody, you might literally drop on top of them and just snap their neck. Like
Best
it was
one
shit
I
like that.
in
Yeah,
Reach
that-
was I was running away from somebody who was trying to stab me.
Yeah.
I jumped straight up in the air, backed up, and looked down and got the
Oof.
assassination on their back.
Oh,
So one of
that's
my favorite
dirty.
ones is from Reach. One of my favorite ones is from Reach. It's that type of assassination where you
Yeah.
come down, but you're an elite, and you literally have your fucking big foot come out, and you just stomp on their fucking head, like you just fucking curb stomp this fucking marine, like this fucking
That's cool.
guy. Like it's
That's
sick.
cool.
I love it. Yeah.
That's why I like a lot of the. I love it when they include a lot of like execution animations and things
I
like that. for
love executions.
death. One of the things I really liked about For Honor,
The death executions.
Oh,
Yes.
yeah, is that they had so many like cool animations for
Yes.
the end sequences and the executions and stuff like that. So it really helps the. Oh, do you see what I just did to that guy? Like
Well, Dio, I know for a
things-
fact loves the AI, right?
yeah.
Yeah.
So-
and Orochi actually used to have like a death animation where he literally would go, bah, with the fucking sword, like an
I
AI,
love
like, AI
AI.
move.
EA is
Yeah.
my favorite
So-
of samurai like sword forms.
Yeah, Iaido and Iai Jutsu are just fun
It's
to
my
watch.
shit. I love it.
I used to watch research videos on that all the time.
Mhm.
And that's actually a funny thing. That's where I learned how to sheath a sword properly. was
The art
stab
of
yourself
quick
in the leg.
draw.
that.
Instead of almost
but,
stabbing yourself in the leg.
You know, we can tell that story, but
Go for it.
Let me just.
It's all yours. It's all yours.
right. So
Also, bring your mic a
I
little closer.
okay. Do I need to be a little closer? Okay.
Yeah, yeah, I
So
got
I
you.
was trying not to be off center with the green screen. I guess I could just kind of do this, huh?
You can just
That's
A little
fine.
bit.
Oh,
I won. So all right. Well, that doesn't help, does it? Because his fucking green screen is at the edge right there. It's fine.
yeah, it's
So when I was 18, for those of you who don't know, in the U.S. you cannot buy weapons, blades, anything like that until you turn 18. You have to be an adult. And that is our age of consent here. Most everybody's already gonna fucking know that, but for anybody who's international, so finally I had the ability to buy me a sword. And I wanted to buy a sword set, and I had $100 burning a hole in my pocket, and that was a lot of money to me back then.
it would be. Yeah.
And I ended up at this import store, and I should have known. Like, I didn't. This was before I knew anything about weapons, anything about swords, anything about, anything.
You were a
Mhm.
bucket.
Yeah, 18-year-old Vince was not. No.
Bucket. He's straight up bucket. A pail, you
He's
could
a
say.
bean. He was a bean.
He was a fucking bean.
I was a
God.
hard R.
Goddamn kidney bean.
So, I bought myself a sword set, and it was one of those 3-piece, katana wakizashi tanto sets, right?
Mhm.
And it was one of those super cheap, cheesy ass wall hanger sets. Like I have one of them here.
It's for looks, basically.
Oh shit! He's gonna
He's got
flex
a sword?
the
Oh.
weapons. The weapons.
probably-
I have
Yeah.
many blades.
Probably the Watashi.
I have a collection. This is the jankiest of them. Okay, this is the katana to that. So you see how it's got masking tape all over the fucking scabbard? It's because the scabbard split on me because the cap fell off of the bottom. This thing is the worst thing I have ever owned. Like, I don't know if you can see it, but the suba right here is all bent.
I can tell.
You-
Yeah, you can see it. It like flips. It bends up.
Yeah,
like-
yeah, yeah.
Or well,
Oh,
towards the bottom of
dude,
the hilt. It bends like towards the
Dude.
bottom of the hilt. Yeah.
that's scuffed.
And then if you look at the
It's
blade of this
shiny.
thing,
It's shiny.
obviously machine manufactured, right? And you look at this, and it's got like rust all over the fucking, and it's stainless steel. It's probably only 440. It's not sharp, obviously. And
That's
the
scuffed.
hamon that they tried to put in is very, very mathematically done. It's not hand done.
Did you say homo?
Yeah, it doesn't look good.
Did I just hear homo? What the fuck? Wait a
That's
minute.
what they call the little etch. This part of the blade where they put the clay,
Dude, they call it homo? Wait a
Come on,
minute.
like Jojo.
Soul energy.
Come
Yeah, that's what
on.
it say.
Come on.
Thing
So
is
the-
the worst
the power
thing
of
I
the
have ever
sun.
owned in my life. Okay, and this is the important part of the story right
That's
here, right
sharp.
there. That's the thing. No, it's not. It's not sharp.
I
The
thought
problem
it was
is,
sharp now, but it's not sharp.
I was a big fan of okay, all of my life I've taught myself almost everything I know, right? So, because and grew up in group
I
homes,
feel
didn't really
too.
have a father figure, right? So I'd teach myself. Fuck you. So I had Soul Calibur 2 running, and I was watching Mitsurugi's sword form, the little demo that he was doing, because he was
Ah,
only
yes.
him and Yoshimitsu
Yes,
were the only two
Mitsurugi.
katana users, and Yoshimitsu doesn't really use a katana correctly, right?
Is that
Yeah.
the guy who like spins around on his ass and
Yeah.
shit?
Yep.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
So I don't know about you, but I can't perch on top of the handle of a sword and keep my balance. So I wasn't gonna try it.
It's gonna bend that thing. That's how cheap
Should've
that
took
thing
two of
is.
them-
It's gonna
should've took
bend.
Two of them went Cervantes.
Huh?
Yeah, you should put two of them went Cervantes mode.
It's not. It's
Yeah,
not.
yeah.
It's not American safe.
The funny thing is, whenever I dual wield, that is my stance. If you ever watch me
Cervantes?
play sorcery, if I pick up two short swords, that's the stance I go into.
You go
fucking
Yoshi.
Cervantes.
You go
No, he goes
Yoshi.
Cervantes. No,
I go Cervantes, but
Oh,
uh,
you go
the
Cervantes.
pirate boy. Yeah.
so,
Ah.
anyways, what happened is we get to a move where
Mhm.
you turn around your right side, you take the sword, in reverse grip and you stab backwards, right? Here's the problem.
You don't know what the fuck you're doing.
Well, number one, but number two, I forgot a very crucial component to this particular step.
Oh, I remember.
Footwork.
Positioning.
When you do this move, if you're doing it over the right side, you step back with your right leg. I still had my right leg in front, so guess where the tip of this motherfucker went? Straight into my thigh. If this had been any other blade,
You may be missing a leg.
that would have been a femoral artery. I would
You might
not
be
be
dead.
here.
You might.
Thanks-
You may have a high chance of death.
Thanks to how shitty this sword is, I live. And it hurt like hell. I just went, ah, because y'all, I'm not kidding. There was a triangular dent in my thigh.
Oh yeah.
It was not even
From
a,
how dull this sword
it's
is.
not even a puncture. It's a dent.
No, it didn't bleed. It bruised.
My fucking throat swelled. God damn.
And I'm rolling around on the ground like, oh,
Blunt weapon.
because I went full force with that shit.
Yeah, because you were not thinking, oh, I'm gonna stab myself in the leg.
Oh yeah, exactly. I was not thinking. That is
You're
the
thinking,
crucial
oh, I'm about to
component.
do this cool thing
I
like
was not
Mitsurugi. Let's go. You know. Ugh. Ah!
So, and then from that point on, I realized that I should probably get all of my swords unsharpened. I only have-
probably.
I only have one blade that breaks that rule. It is a hand-forged katana.
It's my
Okay,
kitchen knife.
fair enough. Fair enough.
It's my
One that I may have
kitchen
to
knife.
deal with one of these days.
One of these days, you
Yes.
gotta show me. I like katanas. Katanus.
I see. I'm excluded. I don't get to see it. I see how it is.
All right. I mean, well, I will bring it. It's like right around the corner. Give me a moment.
Oh
I see.
shit. Oh
Just
shit.
now.
He's gonna.
What is your? I'll give you something to talk about. Why? Oh yes. I will do that. What is your favorite sword that you have seen so far? While
My
I go get this.
favorite sword that I've seen.
Fuck that
Okay. Okay, that's a pretty sick question. I mean, considering that we've been playing a lot of D&D lately, I haven't seen any real swords. But if I had to pick a really cool sword, obviously it's gonna end up being a katana. It's not recent, but I really like how the Nobitsura Kage looks from Shadow Warrior.
Mm.
The Nobitsura
got
Kage, probably one of my most favorite swords ever. It's actually like, it's, as I said, not really recent, but it's a really sick sword. And for those of you guys
a question for mine.
who haven't played Shadow Warrior, please play it because the katana's sick.
Yeah.
If you like Doom, but like slicing things with a sword more, that's what it is.
Yeah,
Gotcha.
pretty much. It's
Yeah.
Doom, but with slicey. I was
And
basically
you get a bunch
explaining.
of like demon powers and shit too, right?
Mhm.
Like
I was
shadow
basically
powers.
that's Shadow Warrior 2.
I thought you get more power. I think you get powers in
In
one. Too,
one
don't
you get,
dashes.
like-
you get like
you-
dashes and like.
I guess,
extra
but like they're
slices.
not really demon abilities.
But they're
It's mostly the
powers,
sword.
they're
It's mostly the sword
powers.
that gets enhanced. Is what it
Exactly,
is
but
in
it is powers,
Shadow
right?
Warrior
Like I
1.
know you can increase the sword and it slices like it sends out blades, right?
Yeah,
So
that's the
you guys
maxed out sword.
Have you guys ever seen those the collectible knives? They have the pommel of the knife is like shaped like an animal's head, and then they have like a Native American depiction of like a scene on the scabbard, and it's usually like white background on the scabbard. Have you seen those?
I
don't think
think
so.
so.
I don't know. Maybe it's possible.
It sounds familiar, but I can't really picture
There's a
it.
bunch of them out there, and my friend had a wolf one that she loaned me for years and years and years, and I always treated it like a keepsake. And then I found that there's a sword shop that I used to love to go to in Moreno Valley, California. It's called Gromit's Collectibles, and it's nowhere near the sword shop that it used to be, but they still have some amazing pieces there.
Does he have a friend
and-
named Wallace?
Wallace and Gromit, really, dude? You're really gonna do that with us? Yo, Beast.
Remember, guys, it's never too late to change your life for the better. And
God
absolutely-
damn it.
no,
Yo, Beast. You're cut from the podcast from now on.
God,
But
just jumps out of the fucking frame.
they had some quality pieces. And this one that I have here is one of the ones that I got from there. I found some treasures at that thing. I actually found an antique World War One Russian bayonet
Nice.
that had been used.
Oh,
You
What,
can
to-
see
to
that
kill
the tip
somebody?
was snapped. Yeah, the tip was snapped off. There was rib marks on the bayonet itself.
wow.
You had an
It's-
actual murder weapon.
Yeah, it's got a serial number too, and I haven't been able to trace it yet. And it's sitting on my
Oh.
shelf. I love antiques, right? Okay, so I have a lot of like old collectibles and
I
whatnot.
get that. Yeah.
One of which is a Knights Templar ceremonial sword from Hanover. The youngest this sword could be is 1895.
Holy.
A while back. That's a
So-
while back now.
But
Wait,
this,
1
this
second,
blade
Vic.
right here. Yeah.
One second, Vic. Show this katana in frame a little bit. Beast, I want you to look at it. Tell me there's a similarity.
Okay, so it's got the
Ghost of
Lotus
Tsushima.
Scarlet Tuba.
Go.
Ghost of Tsushima, really? You think so?
It looks like the Sakai family blade.
He's right. There's an exact one that has like the black sheath and everything with the little red gold, like the gold, not red gold. Just the gold fucking dots on it and everything. Yeah.
Hey, don't slice
You're
yourself,
right.
my guy.
No, I'm not.
No, because you said this is the sharp one, isn't
Yeah,
it?
this one is the sharp one. It is
Be
still very, very
careful.
sharp.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We don't need just like Vic going.
It's got.
Ah!
If you look at the spine of the blade here as well, like this thing, it's gorgeous. This was
Oh,
Got a very nice
so
pommel,
beautiful.
yeah.
it's hand forged, and
Not
there's no
pommel,
like if I take this thing
What is that?
and I shake it, nothing.
No shaky. Yeah. What's the name
Nothing.
of that actual thing? Like the ring. What is the name of the ring?
This part that holds the blade on,
Yeah, the ring. What's that?
I there's a name for it. I do not know.
I know. I was gonna say. I know there's a specific name.
Ah,
That's why I was trying to
I
figure it
forgot
out.
too. Shit.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yep. But there is
Actually-
it's even got the wooden pegs here, so you can take the blade out and oil it and powder
Didn't
it.
they used to do in like ancient Japan? Didn't they actually like to take like a katana like that, and then they would actually have like the emblem of their house for that little
Yeah,
circle?
and it was usually
Yeah.
a family heirloom. Like
Yeah,
take that and compare it to this, right? If I take
Shake
my
it.
no,
Shake it.
hold on.
Shake it.
If I take my noise suppression off here and I shake this thing, that is what shit.
Just
If you ever pick up a sword and it fucking rattles,
unless it's a
Oh,
rattling sword.
bro.
Imagine that, a sword that just rattled when you hit people with it. That'd be funny.
Dude, imagine you like slash a sword as it goes down. It's just.
okay, because can you imagine though, like with as loose as that blade is, if you hit something with that, the shock of that blade moving is going into your wrist.
Yeah, it's going
Up
up
your
your
arm.
which could
Mhm.
easily fracture a part of it if you're doing it wrong.
You're gonna hurt yourself if you hit something with that sword.
It's like getting a slap with the ruler times like 27,000.
Really try to pretend you're a samurai while doing it.
It's a
Basically
Rudy
like
Map.
that, you know, the ruler that had the little metal bit on the end, so you could
Yeah.
like trace off of.
Yeah.
That's probably stronger than this sword.
No. Time out! What do you mean, little metal part on a ruler? I never got no fucking rich ruler like that, you rich bitches. I never got no rulers
Really?
like that. I had like rubber or plastic shit. I had to like hold it down with my
You didn't
hand
get
and
you
then.
didn't get the wooden ones that had the little metal bit in
No,
embedded
I
in
didn't get
the
no
end?
fucking wooden one. I had like plastic
Oh,
or fucking
God.
rubber. And the,
This is what's wrong with socialist Canada.
And the ruler would be like, the ruler would literally be like this. It'd be like your, the ruler would be bendy like your sword.
Damn.
Like,
Dude, I
No,
don't
you know
think
what
I don't think we can even complain because they have tridents, and we don't.
I want a
Okay.
trident.
That's,
I need an actual trident. I
you
need
know
to
what
buy a
one of these
trident.
is?
I need to buy
can-
an actual
I can
trident.
put on my own Antiques Roadshow just here in chat at the camera and just tell stories about all the antiques that I have. One of these days I should
You
do that.
absolutely could.
I actually own a flintlock pistol.
Just imagine though,
Have you ever
Dio,
seen one?
like right there, just
It's
a
cool.
trident on the
I've
wall.
seen one in a museum. I went to
In a
I
museum,
believe
but-
there was a weapons
Different odds
museum
in
in
the museum.
Hawaii that I went to, and I saw a bunch
Yeah.
of like weapons. I saw like a big ass cannon. I saw like
Yes.
I saw a Garand. I saw an M1 Garand,
Oh damn.
and I saw a Car 98 as well.
Yeah.
My
I'll be right back.
grandfather actually had a musket, so I know I've held a musket, like a Lair.
Oh, that's cool.
Old style, like what was it? Maybe like when was
Mhm.
muskets made? Like early on.
I
I want
don't
to say it was
remember.
like I want to say it was like a 1700 musket. Like it's old.
It's old.
it's
Yeah,
old.
that's cool.
Yeah, it was old.
I mean,
my grandfather said it's been passed down, like, you know,
generation
throughout
to
the fucking
generation.
years and shit.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it, like, dude, I held this thing. Have you ever held a real gun, Dio?
I'm Canadian.
Exactly. That was one of my first times holding a real gun, right?
Yeah,
The
we
weight
Canadians
of an
don't
actual
hold guns.
Instrument, no, the weight of an actual instrument that could kill somebody is kind of scary.
Yeah?
Like, when I held this in my hands, my brain was like, oh, fuck. Like, this
I feel powerful.
this is a weapon. Like,
This is a weapon. Like
Exactly,
it's
like that type of
scarier
shit.
than holding like is it scarier
I
than
can hold a
holding like a
kitchen knife.
blunt weapon?
It felt totally different. Like
Oh.
I've held baseball bats, I've held fucking, like, I've held
Kitchen
you know, like,
knives and
sticks
shit,
that-
yeah.
yeah,
Yeah,
shit like
yeah,
that.
yeah.
Like I've even held swords, some of them, like a couple swords here and there.
Mm-hmm.
It's a totally different feeling. It's so different.
Jeez.
Like, it's especially with like when you know the history in the gun, and I know for a fact this gun was used to kill people. Like I
Mhm.
know it was.
You're
like,
you're
that type of thing.
holding a gun that's killed people.
Exactly, and that is such a fucking like, whoa, like situation. It's
I
such
do-
a fuck in your brain.
I do want to go to a firing range sometime. Weird enough.
Same, dude, same.
Like
See,
I
that'd be
I-
interesting
yeah.
because I have zero experience with firearms. I'm a melee weapons guy.
See,
So-
I've shot a gun a couple times in my life.
I have no
shot-
experience in melee weapons or firearms because I am
don't know the
Canadian.
caliber. I've shot a rifle. That's it.
Fair enough.
You have no experience with weapons because you're Indian and you can't have beef with anybody.
I mean, okay, technically speaking,
That was pretty
Indians
good.
do have a huge amount of experience in melee
Oh
weapons.
no, ancient Indian weapons are fucking amazing.
I was gonna ask a
Dude.
question.
Yeah.
Dio, you go? You good?
No, go ahead.
Oh no. Okay, so you guys know those swords that are like, okay. You know Cabal from Mortal Kombat?
Yeah,
You know
The
his sword,
Chinese
like his
hook sword.
weapon? What is that? Is that a sword technically?
those are Chinese hook swords. They come from southern China, I believe. I think it's the Shaolin discipline, but I'm not sure.
I was
but
gonna
those-
say that's
are
probably my
real
favorite
weapons.
sword. That's probably my favorite sword. I would love to own like one of those and
I
have
The
love
funny thing is, he
katanas.
actually uses a lot of real techniques from the hook sword style.
Mhm. Yeah, because he does like the where he like hooks the swords together and then swings them around.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh
and
that's
yeah,
a real
yeah,
thing.
yeah, yeah.
That's like a
I'm
real
following
thing.
now. I'm following now. Yeah, I know what you mean.
Like there's another guy. There's a guy in Dynasty Warriors. That's one of my favorite characters. He works for the Wu, or not
Mhm.
Wu. He works for Wei. Sorry. And he's super cool. He's like a young fella, but he's got the dual hook swords, and I love it.
Mm-hmm.
And I just
Yeah,
like
no,
that weapon
I-
a lot. And then there's all these different designs too that you can find. And they're super cool.
Oh yeah.
I love like I it's so weird, right? Like you as someone who has like it's weird to think that I'm someone who's good at using firearms in a video game, but I've never touched a firearm in my life. Like it
mean,
it
that's why I
seems
think
normal.
I've never
The
used a
VR
gun lance, but I
experience is
still
gonna
do
be
really
so
good.
different from your desktop experience.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
It is. So like yeah, no.
'Cause,
because
yeah,
I
I get
went in
played
VR
fucking Overwatch
and done
all I
the
like.
shooting range.
Mm-hmm.
But I tried to do that VR laser tag.
Yeah. I
So-
want to try it because I've done VR shooting before.
Mhm.
So this is back in LTX again.
Yeah.
There were a bunch of VR booths, right? And one of them, there's one VR booth when the blue Oculus Rifts were out. You know, like
Oh, yeah.
those are the early ones,
Yeah.
right?
That's
So-
like what isn't that like DevKit 2? I want to say.
I think so. So either that or it was like first release. I don't
or
remember.
first
I think it
release,
was the
yeah, like one of
Rift,
the two.
like the straight Rift.
Or just the Rift.
You're
Okay.
right.
Yeah.
'Cause
So
I have a Rift S over there, and it's not that.
yeah, and I played Arizona Sunshine.
Oh yeah, that game's
I
fun.
really wanted to play that. Was it good?
I would love to
It
play that
was-
with somebody in co-op. Like it's so
Does
good.
it have co-op?
Yes, 100% online co-op.
It was fun.
I think it's either 2
It's
or
like
4.
I think it's 4 like zombies.
Yeah, it's
That
either
would be
2 or
cool.
4. It's
Also-
I would love
love-
to do that. I would love to do that.
Arizona Sunshine. When I first because it was my first ever time trying VR, right? And I was streaming this at the time. I had like 50 plus people on stream and shit. It was crazy. And I was streaming myself playing Arizona Sunshine. And what happened was, right, I didn't know how the hell VR worked, right? I didn't know how to move. I didn't know how to properly maneuver, how to use the weapons properly, how to equip, unequip shit, where to find ammo. In Arizona Sunshine, there's a specific mechanic. In every map that you spawn in, you don't spawn in with, you spawn in with nothing but a pistol and one magazine.
Oh.
You have to find the materials around.
And you have to find the ammo in the area around you. There's some maps
be on top of barrels.
that are insanely dark. There's a mine shaft. One of the maps was a mine shaft. I remember this vividly. The guy on the stand, like on the stall, he was like, no one's found the weapons in this map. I was like, okay, bet. 15 minutes, I found the weapons. After dying 4 to 5 times.
Yep.
And mind you, first time VR experience, zombie came into my face, I recoiled. I was like, I was scared.
I get it.
Yeah.
100%.
And then I started learning how to play slowly. Because this is point and move.
That's what I feel like is so interesting about VR itself, because like now they have more options to where, you know, you said point and move, like you push a button then boom, you teleport, right? You can actually switch that to where you can walk and use normal locomotion with the sticks now.
It was stressful though, by the way. Point and move was stressful because this was me, okay? This is literally a reenactment of me playing the game when I actually got used to it and the zombies didn't bother me as much, and when they were chasing me. Point, shoot, point, move, shoot. I was like, I was rapid fire, point move with the gun.
Yeah.
Like I was going ham, right? And I lasted like probably like give or take 10 minutes in the map, which is crazy because ammo does respawn. Oh dude, I was like stressed. I was sweating. Like I was legit sweating because I was like, you only get 30-minute playtime too.
And that's what I like about, honestly, about modern VR before we get into full dive, before we get into any of that, because it makes you do things. It's really weird.
It's a workout.
Especially something like Blade and Sorcery or Climb or something like that. Like, you are getting a workout doing it.
Okay, big thing with Blade and Sorcery is like literally swinging the sword.
Yeah,
it's like that's a movement.
Missing the weight of the sword, but it's the same thing. Like you still.
That is true.
You're still using the arms in the same way that you would.
Yeah, exactly. Like that's a big thing that I noticed with VR chat. So when you're playing the Uno that you play in VR chat, where you have to actually throw the cards at the center.
The armor's getting stolen.
I am an ex-baseball player. I want to state that. I'm literally pitching these cards at the fucking center. About maybe 3 games in, I'm like, my arm! Because I just threw about fucking 80 pitches in a row. Like, of course,
my man got his baseball training in. He's going to regionals.
And that's nobody really realizes about like VR combat. A lot of people say, "Oh yeah, I want to go into VR. I want to do like the fighting sims and stuff like that." Because I like that, you know. For me, getting full body tracking as a secondary black belt, you know, I wonder how would I do? You know, how out of shape and out of practice am I?
Can you jump?
How badly will I get my ass beat? And getting in there, people don't realize, because I've had this experience before. I know that I have to pace myself or I'm gonna gas out.
Exactly.
A lot of people don't understand what, you know, a little 3-minute half round takes out of you. If you're doing a full 5-minute round, like that's.
Yep.
Bro, I literally played Blade and Sorcery one day for maybe 15 minutes.
Yeah.
I was drenched.
You give Blade and Sorcery a good 45 minutes of your time, and that's it. That's your
workout. That's a workout. That's your cardio right there. Boom.
It's done.
Just don't do like I did. Don't destroy your TV.
You hit your TV?
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay, now I gotta hear this one. You hit your TV?
2 days ago, I was playing Blade and Sorcery, and I switched my Guardian style thing to just in place, so I wouldn't, you know, go anywhere, right?
Of course.
instead of like having the room scale thing. So I thought, okay, it'll be safe. I was wrong, and a very specific sword thrust that I did to get under someone's guard, and I hear a tink, and I feel something hit my controller. And I'm like, no. So I back up until I feel my leg against the couch, and I just use that as an anchor while I'm pivoting around. Just keep my leg on the couch.
My reaction would have been.
See, the thing is, like, after I was done with that round, that's what I did.
I would have hit the pause button. I would have just been like, boom.
There is no pause.
There's no pause in Blade and Sorcery?
I don't think so.
Nope.
You pull up the book and they still hit you.
Really? Okay, I didn't know that.
I finished that.
I never tried
And
pause, so.
and nothing looked wrong. And I go get the remote and I go, and I push the button, and there in front of God and ever, there's like nice little starburst where I fucking collided with the screen of my beautiful 56-inch LG flat screen.
4K or anything? Was it 4K or anything like that?
It was.
Oh, it's smart. Oh.
ask-
my heart.
Yeah, I'm gonna
The
message
soul left
sister
my
right now
body.
if David had warranty on the TV.
That's that
Dude,
hurts.
the soul
I-
left my body when I first
I
heard
cannot imagine hitting my TV because like I use that TV when I'm in bed. Like that's where I watch my shows and shit.
Yeah, emotional damage. Yeah,
Emotional damage.
that's what I did to myself.
that.
Emotional
That's what it
damage.
was.
I get it though, because here's the thing. So I can actually show it, because it's from my old controllers, right?
Oh no.
So these are my Rift-S controllers, right? Okay.
Yeah.
Mhm.
If you look right here, oh no, the sun. So do you kind of see that little scuff mark at the bottom?
Mhm. Mhm.
Right,
Oh
like
yeah,
below
I
my
see it
finger?
slightly.
that
Yeah,
little
yeah.
scuff. Yeah, that's from me going, boosh. And then this one I actually think has a dent in it, if I remember correctly. Let me see. I know
This
I
hurts
smacked
me
it pretty
because
fucking hard.
you guys know my history of taking care of my stuff.
Oh, absolutely.
Oh, dude, no,
You
I
have-
take
you
care of
have
this
no
shit.
idea how horrid I still feel about
I take care of it. It's
TV
just,
that was given to me as a gift.
No, this one
And
actually looks pretty
fucking
good.
and it fills the
Got
space
stuff right there.
perfectly. And like, I'm not somebody who's gonna buy a new TV. I don't use it enough, but every once in a while, I want to hop on and play some Metroid or something like that. Now it's gonna be a big old there.
Oh, you have your Switch plugged into that TV, right?
Yeah.
Okay, okay. I feel
That's
that.
the whole thing. That's the whole thing with me, with my setup. Like, luckily, I don't even need to use my television anymore
Dude,
because of my capture card and stuff.
this is my setup, okay? My Switch is behind me. If I were to be in a Discord voice chat and play on my Switch at the same time, I have to unscrew this part of my mic arm, turn it around, position it by my mouth so that and then I have to turn my whole ass chair around and I'm good. Because I have my Pro controller right here. So I just turn it on, my TV turns on with it, Switch turns on with it,
Yeah.
and then
See, Switch is a smart
Good.
system. It'll actually activate the
Oh yeah,
TV.
no, you could just push home button.
the earliest
Mhm.
version of that was Sony
Green light turns
TVs when you turn on a PlayStation 3.
Yeah.
I remember the first time I turned on my PlayStation 3 and I had this really nice 1080p full HD like Sony TV. It was a really nice TV. Obviously, this is 1080p a long time ago, right?
Yeah.
But
It was
Um,
quality back then. Yeah, I get you.
but it was an amazing TV, right? And that thing served me well. It served me years
Of course.
before it died.
Of course, of course.
I turned on my PS3 one day to play Call of Duty. My TV turns on with it. I'm like, what the hell? And then I'm like,
Go shit.
oh. Sony, I get it. I put two and two together. And then I was like, all right, let me try something completely otherworldly. I took my Sony Bravia TV remote. I remember it. It's a Sony Bravia 1080p HD TV. I've used the remote on the PlayStation. It worked.
That's fantastic.
And I was like, my
You were
TV
like, "I
remote
found a-"
works on my PlayStation.
Dude, play Call of Duty with your TV remote.
Dude, I tried that actually. It didn't work. It was scuffed.
Damn.
Do you remember those
Damn.
old games that you used to play with a remote control? Like,
Yes, the bunny
Dragon's
rabbit
Lair
one.
and, what was it? Brain Dead 13 or something like that?
I remember a bunny rabbit one where your objective was to get all the carrots and dodge the hunters.
The
was
oldest
like
game I
Donkey
can
Kong.
think of is on the
It was like Donkey
IBM
Kong.
computers when I used to play Putt Travels in Time.
See, if we're talking old,
Or
I know,
Travels
like,
Through Time, the point and
far
click
back.
adventures.
I don't even know what the oldest game I know of is. Like, that I played. Fuck. It's probably like
I
a
think the
Flash
oldest for
game.
me was Putt.
It was probably a flat. Mine was probably like a random CD game or a Flash game.
Oh
But yeah, the ones I remember were Dragon's Lair and Brain Dead 13, and they were like you had
Dragon's
I
Lair
think
is the one with,
I think it was
cutscenes,
Dragon's Lair.
right?
Yeah, so it's an all cutscene game, and you like you either push this way or you
Prompts.
push this way,
Yeah,
or you
prompts.
yeah you have prompts basically to swing or duck or attack, or basically you have to memorize the correct sequence of moves to get through the game.
Mm-hmm. Do you guys remember those Sega Genesis boxes that had like 8 to 12 games in them?
Plug and play.
And you would like plug in the
Channel where
three.
you plug the coax into it.
No,
So basically,
He's
you have
talking about
like
where you take the yellow and white cords, you plug them in, and you got like a joystick.
you have the
right?
3 component
Oh.
cables. Yeah, the 3 component cables. There's
It's
a
called a
controller
plug
in
and
it,
play.
and
It's
it
called a
said
plug and play.
Sega
Yeah.
Genesis on it. It was like 12 games, and I used to play like Contra and like the Ooze and shit like that, bro.
I had that, but I had
Oh.
Namco.
So
I
Wait,
have it
Namco.
still. I have the
I
Genesis still.
I have one too. I have a WWE wrestling one and a fucking Fantastic Four one.
when I was a kid, we had an actual Sega Genesis, and one of the cartridges that you
Mhm.
put into the Sega Genesis had a big box on top of it where you plug in a coax cable, like for a TV. And it
Mhm.
was called Sega Channel, and it was like a live game service where the games would change every month, and you could go down categories.
Oh,
That's where I
that's
discovered shit like
cool.
Earthworm Jim, Shinobi, Pulse Man, a lot of the obscure stuff that
Mhm.
I still discovered Gunstar Heroes, and then they took it off, and I loved that game so much that my dad went out and bought a copy of it.
that's nice of him.
It was really cool. Sega Channel was super cool. I don't know how long they ran that for. I'm actually gonna look it up right now.
Dude. But I don't know how I still have that Genesis box in really good condition still. Well, as good condition as it can be for someone who's used it, and it's been sitting in a box, but it's in pretty decent condition, right? Like for someone who's used it. And I have that. I have my what else did I have? I mean, okay, obviously I have my PS2, my PS3, Xbox 360. I had 3 Game Boys,
I
3
have a
Game Boy
Boy
Advance
Color around here
SPs, a
somewhere
PSP.
still.
I remember if you remember the first ever rendition of Pokemon Go was actually made by Sony.
Was it?
AR Pokemon was not made by Nintendo. It was actually Sony who made Invisimals.
Yes, I know what you're talking about.
Okay.
So you get like this like rectangular card, right? Like it's a white card with like the like black outlines on it to like make this cool
Yeah.
like symbol looking thing, right? And you have a camera attachment on your PSP. So basically what would happen is you put in the game, it turns on the camera, and then the game pings you and shows you where an Invisimal is. When there's an Invisimal, you put the card down on the floor and then you have to capture it. So you point the camera at it and it's on the summoning, like the rectangle, the card you have, right? And there's like a square in the middle. You have to line it up with that. And then you have to catch it with the PSP. And it was really crazy because you have to do like some like quick time events and shit to catch it. And sometimes they run away. And those bastards, I think I lost like the one like Invisimal that was in like the cover of the of and I was like, dude, that's the cover Invisimal. That's the cover Invisimal. I tried to catch it and I got scammed.
I get it. Dude, no. I'm the same way with another game. So there's a game for the DS, right? Neither one of you probably owned a DS, I'm guessing.
I had
a DS.
XL for like 2 months and somebody stole
I had a
it.
DS Lite.
That was the one. I had a DS Lite, yeah. So
Mhm.
this game
I have a red
was
one.
really cool. It was called, mine was black. It was called Fossil Fighters, okay?
Fossil fighters.
Oh,
All right, I'll explain the concept.
I had
The
Narnia.
concept is you're an archaeologist, right?
Uh-huh.
You're like a kid archaeologist, like Pokemon.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And you get to fucking, you literally take the stencil, right? You go mine fossils, and you take the stencil, you go back to the cleaner, and you clean the fossil with the stencil, like to the best of your ability. You
Okay.
can actually hit the bone and like you could fuck up and break the fossils and shit.
Gotcha.
Like,
Okay.
Oh,
so you
that's
have to,
cool.
like, dig around it perfectly, right? Then it gives you a fucking dinosaur that you then take into tournaments and fight with.
Nice.
That's cool.
I loved it. It was so cool. Now I'm explaining the problem because I get Dio's pain. So there's a monster. There was a T-Rex on the front. It was like a fire T-Rex with like this big like orange fucking mohawk and shit. Okay, I wanted that T-Rex so bad because poster, right? Because poster monster. You know, you want it. Poster dinosaur. I mean,
Absolutely.
So I almost had it about 15 times, but I kept breaking the fossil because it was one of the hardest fossils to do because you had to go like, dude, imagine like, okay, have you ever seen somebody like painting little tiny miniatures?
Yeah.
That's what basically you had to do. You had to like,
Oh
no,
my
don't ting it, don't ting
lord.
it,
That's
don't ting it,
horrible.
don't ting it, don't. I tinged it. That's literally fuck.
Yeah. That was me because the Invisimo on the cover was like this really badass looking like lion tiger thing
Exactly.
that like stands up in 2 feet and shit. I was like,
oh my fuck.
holy, that's badass looking. I can't believe I got
So
scammed.
bad. I get it so much. I get
Do you?
it so
Oh
much.
shit. Do you know how on console we had a bunch of card games, right? Like obviously there are really common ones like Yu-Gi-Oh and I think there might be a Pokemon card game one out there somewhere.
There is on online. I don't know if it's on the game
Like on
consoles, but I know
console.
there's-
But like
I
you know
don't
what I
know.
mean,
I
like
know there's a
there's
browser
Yu-Gi-Oh
one.
and shit like that, right? There was a game called Duel Masters.
Oh, of course, I know Duel Masters. That was an
Duel
anime and they made it into
Masters.
a fucking show.
I
and,
got
you know,
I still have the physical game, by the way, with the collectible card. I think.
I have Duel Masters cards somewhere in my house. I know I do.
I actually, you know
Duel
what? I might
Masters.
have lost a Duel Masters card because I was obsessed with that thing. But basically the game came with its own trading card, like one booster. Right? Like its own trading card booster with the game and the CD,
Yeah.
and the CD was like all shiny and shit. It's super cool.
Mm.
And the game was difficult. So hard, like brain bustingly hard. Like I was at like I was like basically at the elite 4 of like Duel Masters, and I was getting my ass handed to every single time, every single fight. And I think there was a point where if you lose a ton, you reset just the entire
Oh,
game.
shit.
So I got screwed an entire reset like 4 times.
Whoa.
And I was like, shit. It sucked. But Duel Masters was really fun. Super fun. It was a fun game. I want to
No,
play it again.
100%.
The thing
So-
is, for me to play a lot of my legacy consoles properly on like a modern day display, I need to get one of those like $200-300 like converters that
Mhm.
like properly convert it, or else they just look shitty.
Well, yeah, the image is gonna be all choppy and shit.
Oh, dude,
Yeah,
I
by the way,
tried.
Take a look at your DMs real quick. That's what Sega Channel looked like.
Dude,
I want to see this.
like side thing entirely. You're saying card games and shit. Okay.
Mhm.
So there was this game series on the GameCube. It's only 2 games long, from my knowledge, right?
Mhm.
Did either one of you have a GameCube?
My
Yeah,
cousin
I
did,
had a
and
GameCube
we
for the
grew
longest
up
time.
on.
Yeah.
We grew up
So
on
you
Smash.
might know the game then. You might have heard of it. Okay, there was this game basically where it kind of worked like a Pokemon type system, right? But what
Okay.
you do is you had monsters and that you fought and shit, and then you had cards. And you would use these cards to either capture the monster or like give your monster buffs and shit. And you'd have different monster cards too to summon monsters in and shit.
Rem-
Right? And it was
you
like
remember
a
what it was
Final
called?
Fantasy. Yes, Lost Kingdoms.
Lost Kingdoms.
I don't know
Yeah,
if it.
Lost Kingdoms and Lost Kingdoms 2. I played 2 more than 1 though. I want to state that.
I only played
So I had,
2
like-
games on the GameCube because my cousin owned it. Smash
Mario?
Melee and Mario Golf.
Yeah,
Yep,
there you go.
Melee.
The really insanely difficult one that was just brain-numbingly like
There
Toadstool
was-
Thor.
pisses you off.
Toadstool Thor. Yeah, Toadstool
There
Thor.
was a really good
Bastard.
game that you would have enjoyed, Dio, I think, because it was a really interesting take on a first-person shooter.
Mhm.
Metroid.
And this game was called Geist.
Oh, Geist.
Okay.
Remember Geist?
Yeah.
Okay.
It had some good music too, but the thing is, you were a disembodied spirit. What you would have to do is you'd have to find bodies around the level to possess.
Mhm.
And you'd have to do different things to scare larger bodies into being vulnerable to being possessed, and then you could finally, finally transition up to something that was human,
Mhm.
and then complete your objectives. The versus mode was really interesting because instead of looking for weapons around the map, you're looking for bodies. You're looking for guards that have certain weapons that you
Mhm.
want to use, right?
Right.
Exactly.
And the versus mode was actually really, really good. Speaking of versus mode, I thought it was really interesting. How many of you did you ever get to play the Metroid Prime series?
I played the first one.
Okay.
I played. I didn't play any of the Prime series. The only Metroid game I've played a little bit of is Other M on Wii. That's it.
Gotcha.
See,
That was a good one.
The
Yeah, it
only
was
Metroid
pretty
game
good.
I've played at all is Metroid Prime 1, and I barely played it.
Gotcha. The Metroid series is great if you have a chance to check out the side scrollers. I would say play Super
Well,
Metroid.
I have
And
this.
Yeah,
like-
play Super Metroid and then play Metroid Dread. It's Dread is good, but it's hard.
Yeah. Well, Beast likes hard though.
Okay, so my advice then: play Super Metroid, then Metroid Fusion. If you can handle it, play Zero Mission because Zero Mission is fucking impossible. And then Metroid Dread.
Where can you play Fusion now?
Do you have a Switch?
Yeah, of course. What do you mean?
Yeah. So then you should be able to find it under the Game Boy Advance stuff.
Nice. I didn't know if that
Huh.
was there yet. So that's good.
If they have Game Boy Advance, because I played it on the Wii U.
I don't
Dude.
know if they do yet. I know they have NES. I know they have some Sega
Okay.
stuff. I know they have Super Nintendo.
You know they have Super NES, so you'll be able to get Super Metroid, and that one that's
Yeah.
like the shining star of like where you want to start with Metroid
And
because
they're
that's the
I know
easiest
they're
to
getting
get.
N64 and stuff too.
But yeah,
There was no Metroid game on
in-
N64 though.
You're right.
No, there is not. There's none. They were in Smash and that's it.
That's right. Samus was in Smash, and that's it. They did
Yeah.
it for the DS though,
They
and
skipped it.
Metroid Prime Hunters was awful.
Oh, I
Um,
heard. I heard it was horrible.
was
Wasn't there a
awful.
Metroid game that was being made into a Metroid game and then it got the name changed?
I probably.
And it was like a 3v3 thing where you pushed a ball around with guns?
You might be thinking of what I was about to tell you about, which was Metroid Prime 2 Echoes.
No,
Actually had
that's
a
not it.
multiplayer versus mode,
I don't think that's what it was.
and it
But
Ah.
was weird.
this was a game. This was just like its own game. I
And
think.
because Metroid Prime 2 Echoes was on the GameCube before it was on the Wii, I believe.
Maybe I don't.
And
know.
this was before. This was still in like the GoldenEye era, where you had the left stick was all of your
Ah.
movement and looking, right? You didn't use the right stick to look around.
Yeah.
So like Metroid Prime 1 and 2 were a lot harder to play because they were in that kind of classic control scheme. But then when the Nintendo Wii came out, Metroid Prime 3 Corruption came out, then they had the Wii controls, which were amazing. That's what it felt like. That was the first pre-VR experience I ever had.
Mm-hmm.
Because you needed the Motion Plus thing for it and everything. And, you're grabbing things, rotating them, chunking them back in, to open
Mhm.
the door. And it just had some cool shit.
Wii was great. A lot
yeah.
of people
So what
think
they
Wii
did
was
is they
shit, but it was
remade-
not.
They remade the entire Metroid Prime trilogy to be played on the Wii with motion controls.
Mm-hmm.
I had
that's
this steelbook.
interesting.
It's gone now. But it was so good.
You liked it?
I liked it. I loved it.
Speaking of shooters, I wanted to segue back to when you said GoldenEye.
Yes.
You triggered some memories for me.
Oh,
Not
God, yes.
long time ago memories.
Odd job.
It was more like high school memories.
Yeah.
So in high school, right? During lunch, there used to be this room, called the Hub, and in this room, it would be me and like a few others. We would all come in. We'd hang out. We had a Wii there, and everything. So one day, someone brought in GoldenEye, and we played it on the Wii. It was the GameCube GoldenEye. We played it. We all plugged in our like classic controllers and shit. We used because surprisingly classic controllers worked, and we used GameCube controllers if anyone brought any, and we played the shit out of GoldenEye. I mean, I'd kick everyone's asses. it's given. But we played shit like Golden Gun, and we played like just regular like free for all modes, and it was the most fun I've had. And
GoldenEye
GoldenEye,
007.
such a simple game, but such an amazing game.
GoldenEye 007 was the probably the pinnacle of quality first-person shooter back in the N64 era.
Mm-hmm.
And then they came out on the PS2. They came out with a couple of them.
There's also one in the original Xbox too. I played that one. That's how I know.
Was my favorite one.
Mm-hmm.
Because what we used to do is we used to set ourselves up with rocket launchers and grappling hooks. You can
That
imagine
sounds
how
fun.
that went.
That sounds
You
fun.
grapple up, you turn around, you're trying to shoot where they're about to be with the rocket launcher. That's where I learned to shoot the feet. That's why Farah was such an instant pickup for me.
Right.
In Overwatch, because I was already used to flying through the air and firing rockets at people.
Yeah.
It was much different. And then there was another one called Nightfire. And Nightfire was a departure from the series. It was a third-person shooter, and it had some co-op to it.
Oh.
I've always liked co-op first-person shooters, right?
Mm-hmm.
When they came out with a third-person cover shooter, I was like, okay. My uncle and I, or my best friend and I, would always play these. And I have a story about this one, because Nightfire, it was difficult, and the way that they did the checkpoints, I didn't realize was flawed. So, we come up on this level, and we're climbing this mountain to get to this mansion area at the top.
Right.
I remember the boss's name was M. Sappho, and we had to take him out. Right?
Yo, that's such a crazy ass name, M.
What
Sappho.
a fucking name.
He sounds like an MC from like the 80s.
Sounds like a character in Metal Gear.
Sounds
So
like
we
a
each had,
rapper
like-
who didn't make it big.
So we each have like
JJ
5
Fish.
lives, right? And we
Mhm.
go through this level, and we get to the boss, and we only have like 1 life left.
Mm-hmm.
One life left. You're the last
And he
one.
trashes us, right?
Peace around.
So we're like, okay, we need to learn those bosses. So we start from a checkpoint that's about halfway through, right? We have like a couple lives left. During the thing, we lose 1 or 2. We get to the boss with like 1 life left as usual. He kicks the shit out of us,
Of course.
right? So we keep starting over from this checkpoint with like 1 or 2 lives. Keep getting to the boss with 1 or no lives left, and then just getting creamed, right?
Cream
So
that
we're getting
corn.
close. We're working on this all day. We're gonna do this. We're gonna beat this. Gradually, we start getting better. We know where the enemies are hiding. We know where we start taking them out. We start to end up. And there was one particular run where we hadn't taken hardly any damage. Right. I'm sitting in cover by the door. My uncle's on the other side. He's got the rocket launcher. Right. We're about to go in. Like we're almost full health. We each have a spare life apiece, so like this is our best run yet. We've been doing this for like 6 hours.
Ah.
All of a sudden, my screen explodes because he shot me with the rocket launcher on accident. And I watch the life go away, and then my health bar refills as I respawn. And I'm like,
You don't know what to do. It's like,
His soul left his
What?
body.
"Hit the knee." I leaned over and I just rocked him. Of course, he starts laughing because he didn't mean to, and that was the chance that we had. Here's the thing we didn't know. All we had to do was start the level over to get our lives back. And once we finally did that, we got to the boss with like 4 lives left apiece. We just walked on it all over him.
Yeah.
But it was
You
just
guys
having
are
that,
playing on
half
hard
health
mode.
bar left and just on the one good run we have, you have to kill us with a rocket launcher because he killed himself too.
to me, it reminds me of the Halo 3 lasso days.
The
Like-
lasso.
Fucking you go, you're doing so well, you feel so good, and then out of nowhere, your buddy goes boom, and you're just,
Gone. You're gone.
and then he gets smashed by a hunter or an elite or something, and you're just like, ah!
Dude, I remembered this one time when I used to play Halo. So you guys are familiar with like Devon and Ninder guys, right? Or
Yeah.
like just those two. So
know
I
those.
played a lot. I played quite a bit of Halo when Master Chief Collection came out with that. And what we used to do, we have this one buddy, right? Who He hates elites. Absolutely
Really?
hates
Oh,
elites.
he hates
Yeah.
them split lips.
He hates them every time. Yeah, he calls them split lips. He's
That's
like,
the
man, I
racist
hate.
term for them.
I
Just how
know.
like
I know.
clankers from Star Wars, clankers,
Mhm.
like the
Yeah,
robots.
he hates them. He hates them so much. So every single time he plays like we played like some co-op with him before, right? Every single time we played co-op, he'd see an elite, that guy's getting his skull bashed. Dead.
He's like, I'm not
because-
letting you go.
As a multiplayer, I play an elite.
Yep. So
I played an elite only in Reach.
so fast forward, right? We used to do multiplayer sessions and all of us would be Spartans or ODST, right? And there would be this one guy in our group. He was an
Being
elite. So we'd play custom like Forge Forge games, right? And we played Cops and Robbers.
Duck Hunt. Oh,
Cops and Robbers. So we start in spawn, right? Our buddy who hates elites, he starts off. He has a gravity hammer in his hand. We're staring at him, scared as shit. He looks at all of us. He walks over to our buddy who's an elite, beats his ass, and then he has us run away.
I had one.
He doesn't grab hammer him either. He just like
Now,
he
here's the
uses the
question, though, I have
melee.
to ask you guys. You both played Halo 3, right?
Yeah.
Custom games. Okay, cool. All right.
Not
So
really.
What was your? Well, to an extent, you probably played it enough to know this difference. Okay.
Probably.
Which map did you prefer, Sandbox or Foundry?
Foundry.
Because remember, those were the two Forge maps basically. Was Foundry and Sandbox. 'Cause
Sandbox was
so
a really
big. It was so
open area,
big.
right?
Well, it had the underground, it had the middle layer, and then you could build above. With
No,
Foundry, it
Foundry's
was like
better.
a big room.
Foundry's better.
Room, but you could do more in it.
Okay, so here's the thing. I liked Sandbox for the elephant that you could drive around because it was
Fair.
indestructible.
Are you sure that's Sandbox? I think you might be mistaken.
Either that or I'm thinking of Reach.
You're thinking of the sand map with the elephants on it, but that's not Sandbox.
Okay, so then I don't know what you're talking about then.
Sandbox was a thing that was added in the DLCs later on as a big ass giant Forge map.
Yeah, no, I never
It
played
was
it. then.
okay. It was created for Forge, literally. It was one of the, so they basically, Duck Hunt, how it was on Foundry or whatever, right? You kind of had to like drive across a room and shit like that. But it
Okay.
wasn't really
I
the
didn't play
best.
too many custom games. I'm gonna tell you this now.
It wasn't. Oh yeah, it wasn't really the best. But when you got to Sandbox, people would create entire like fucking roller coasters of fucking where you get to drive a 4-wheeler on them while getting sniped at by somebody.
That's cool.
It's amazing. You would literally start from the bottom at one point, go through a portal that put you on the middle level, then you go through that, then put you on another portal, or just ramp up, generally, just to go up in the air a lot of the time. And that's how a lot of it would go. And then you get to the end, finally, you get to fight the sniper.
Mm-hmm.
One of the things I used to love to do in Foundry mode. I made a lot of game modes and a lot of maps back. I think it was in Reach.
Yeah, you mean Forge?
And yeah, the Forge mode. Sorry.
You're good.
And it was back where if you were clever enough, I knew how to make things spawn in midair.
Oh yeah, 100%. Yeah.
So you just all you do is stack them. You set the spawn point, and then you delete everything under them. Then you just hang.
Exactly. Then it'll always be there. Yeah.
Yeah. Once you start the game mode, they drop from that location. So I'd always do the
Put a
fusion
spawn
coils.
point under it.
Yeah. I'd always do the fusion coils, so they'd drop and they'd explode. And I would make this. I would call it. I call this map PTSD. It's like running around with only energy swords trying to kill each other while these bombs and shit are just dropping all over the place. I'd have like O2 canisters and stuff, like so they'd drop, they'd ignite, and they'd fire off like fireworks and shit like that. It was,
Yeah, that's how you're.
it was, yeah.
That's
People
mean.
with actual PTSD would probably have a
That's
problem with this map.
arms.
But we used to do that though because the elephant in the sand map counted as terrain, so anything that spawned in its terrain stayed there. So we could spawn fusion coils that would blow up fusion coils that would blow up fusion coils, and we keep going, and we carry this thing into the air, and it would just be doing flips in the sky while we're fighting. But two of the modes that I love the most, one of them I called it Ballerina, because everybody had energy swords, and the carrier of the oddball got increased speed, increased gravity.
Yes,
But you
okay.
earn points over time. You have to kill people with it.
It's it's king of the ball. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, but the only way you're getting points is killing people. you're faster than the sword wielders, but they have more range than you do.
So
So
you need to beat people with the ball. Is what
Yes.
you're saying.
you absolutely do. That's the only way you
And
can
it
play.
takes 2 hits to kill with the oddball.
It does unless you hit them in the back. Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly. So it's difficult.
One hit with a sword kills you.
Mhm.
Yeah. So it was a lot of fun because there was a lot of exchanging.
You'd
of
have to play
the-
cat and mouse, just like in, out.
Dude, I loved oddball. One of my favorites.
I love fucking classic, dude. If I could go back one of these days and go back and play like classic things on Halo 3 or Reach, like fucking custom games, I would be so
We
happy.
should have a reach.
can
I'll
do
try
that.
to recreate these modes. We should have a reach night.
Well, it's
Yeah.
on PC, but I don't remember if they
We
have
can
Forge
reach
on
for
PC.
some reach.
Do they have Forge? Do they have Forge on PC?
Yep.
Thanks. Oh,
Yep.
If they have Forge on PC and people have the Master Chief Collection, they could just play Reach through that.
Yep.
Like that's always an option.
I have
would
it,
fucking-
so-
I would be
Forge
so
is
down, like,
unlocked
easily.
on MCC last I checked, so
Yes, I'd be so fucking down easily then. 'Cause,
Oh,
like, that's
absolutely.
that's fucking-
absolutely.
Yeah.
Mm,
We'll play my other
quality.
favorite mode, which is pinball.
Oh fuck.
Everybody has increased speed and reduced gravity on the sand map, and it's
You
all
gotta-
gravity hammers.
Oh my god. I think I've actually played that
So
type
you
of
see
mode
people,
before.
you see people jumping around. Somebody goes up in midair, anime battle, boom! You see somebody just fly off into the distance.
See,
Yeah, that's
I actually
fun.
know a little trick for that too. If you got the gravity where I think you got it, you can actually slam the grav hammer to make you go further.
I
Yep.
think I put it on 75% gravity for everybody.
Yeah, I played a game mode very similar where I used to just literally I'd be in the sky going poof, poof, poof. Like it was the start of the gun lance. Like it was the beginning, just in the air, poof, poof, flying away.
Yeah.
Oh, it was so
I love
fucking
what
good.
Rise has done to a lot of the Monster Hunter
No,
weapons.
that's fun.
Mm.
This is like, dude, was that jet engine
Dude.
in Monster Hunter World? I wonder.
I haven't played Rise at all, man.
Dude, oh, if you play Rise, like I said, I'll fucking.
I'm sitting here at like
Master.
mastery like 4 or 5 or something like that because I'm just not playing
I
much.
still have friends that are lower than that.
I'm 61.
Yeah, like y'all got ahead and I'm just
I
chilling,
know.
man, but
I
I've been
went
busy.
ahead. Beast is a numbers whore.
Fair enough. I've been busy though because like I've been playing other games. Like I got into
Understandable.
Extraction.
Extraction. Can we talk about Extraction?
Extraction.
Oh my god, this game. Rainbow Six Extraction. I hate Siege because I'm bad at it.
I don't hate it.
Yeah,
I don't like it.
you would get stomped in Siege. I guarantee it.
I don't
the,
like
the
it. I
learning
haven't
curve's
stomped
too
in Siege. I've experienced
steep.
The thing.
It's too steep.
Okay. The only operator I have any kind of luck with is Clash on defense because that's people hate her.
She has a shield.
And she shocks you.
She's low effort.
I
Yeah,
miss the
she's
days
got
of
the
bl-
shield.
I miss
Well,
the
you
days
can
of
do
early
the
game
thing
blitz.
where you put the shield on your back and you turn with it. You get your gun out and you crouch and then you whip back and da 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 da. You used to do that pretty well.
Mm-hmm.
You just have to turn the correct direction for your shield to still be in their way while you're getting your gun out. But I wasn't like expert level with it. But on attack, nope. So what they did was they took a good selection of the operators from Rainbow Six Siege and they put them into this objective-based PvE tactical
Rescue.
kind of, yeah. And there's
It's a 3 objective map essentially.
and you have the option to extract early if you're down too much, but I love what they did. If you lose an operator, if they go down, they're MIA and you have to rescue them, if you want to be able to use them again.
Mm-hmm.
So you have to be careful about
And their
the health that you-
XP is held.
So if you lose too much health during a mission, like you need that operator to sit by and heal up, so it forces you to diversify and learn how to use multiple operators.
Yep.
And doing a number of missions will get them a certain amount of health back. So it's, especially when you start turning the difficulty up, things start to really matter. You start slowing down your gameplay because in the earlier difficulties, you can just kind of run and gun and get away with it.
Yep.
And that's that's the way that some people choose to play. I'm just gonna run. We're gonna go in hot. We're gonna blast everything. We're gonna be good. You start turning the difficulty, but that starts not being an option.
Oh, dude.
You
Like,
run
you-
a
you
gun,
could
you run a
see.
gun, and you are done.
Yeah, you could see like when we were doing like 1 bar difficulty, right? I was running
Yeah.
around just shooting shit. When we got into 2 bar, I got serious.
Uh,
Yeah,
But-
I started peeking corners more and shit.
the flow of the game, especially for it's a $40 game. That's not even a $60 game. And the amount of content that I feel it has
Well, it's 60
is
CAD,
very
but
good.
for
Well, yeah.
yeah.
Yes. So it's not an $80 game CAD, right? Like
Oh,
your
yeah,
normal
no.
run of the mill.
Normally
No.
we have $80, and then if you had taxes, at least where I live, it's like $92 for an area.
Yeah.
Same.
So you're not,
That's
Same.
what it cost me for Rise was $92.
Same.
Gotcha.
Well, okay, not Rise because I didn't buy it. Vic did.
I mean,
Fucking
Oh.
both
used-
of you, I got no money, and he's buying you guys games, and I'm over here playing it the most.
Dude, I
Fuckers.
told
No, not
Vic, I was
bullshit.
like, I can't pre-order a game. I'll get it after release, and he's like, nah, I don't want you to get it after release. I want you to have it before. I'm like, all right, fine, then
want
I'll
you to
just
have
buy
it
the deluxe
now."
edition on my own. So,
but it's been a while since I've been any kind of excited about any kind of realistic shooter. Because I'm not into realistic shooters. I'm into like fantasy and sci-fi shooters. Like, you know,
Lemnis Gate.
you give me something like Overwatch where I got abilities and stuff like that. That's why I'm
Oh, I
excited for
hate
Overwatch
you.
2 since
hate
Microsoft
you.
just bought Blizzard.
You reminded me of something now, and now I
and
hate
Lemnis
you.
Gate. You like
Oh.
Lemnis Gate?
You remind me of-
Gate.
Oh, you
Mhm.
remind me of fucking Mass Effect multiplayer. The Mass
Yes.
Effect I love that multiplayer,
Bro.
but I can't get Mass Effect 3 to load up.
Bro.
Oh, and then yeah, Lemnis Gate is it's
Extraction is
dead.
so-
It's dead, which is sad, but it's still a good game.
Lemnis Gate, thankfully the Discord is still very active.
Yeah, it's the player count is oof though. I looked the other day on SteamDB, they had 4 active players.
Ow.
Lemnis?
Yeah, they had 4. Yeah,
Lemnis.
4 active players. They went from I think around 80,000 on release to 4.
Yikes.
Yeah.
Death of a game.
What?
Because it's that's really sad too. Because
It's
that
the same. I know the same thing happens to so many games, and it's sad.
maybe it's just because there's not as much to do.
It's
Yeah, I
like
just checked right now, and it's 4 people right now in game.
That's unfortunate.
that
I
sucks.
really liked that game.
I like
No,
Lemnis.
it's a good game. There's a lot of good games that end up dying. Battleborn, fucking Evolve,
Lawbreakers.
Lawbreakers, exactly. Like these
Lawbreakers is a
games.
great example of something.
Lawbreakers
What's the name of
died
that new first-person
because-
Halo type shooter that came out? It's free,
Oh shit.
it's free on Steam. It's like a first-person Halo type shooter.
You mean Halo Infinite?
Switchgate,
It's
Switchgate.
Switchgate.
Splitgate.
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 Splitgate. Portal
that's what
Portal
it is.
meets Halo.
Exactly. Like that one's doing well from what I hear.
Splitgate's cool.
It's interesting. It.
I haven't played it yet, so I don't have an opinion.
Oh yeah,
just-
yeah. Lawbreakers. The one that I'm most bitter about is Gigantic. It's the only MOBA I fell in love.
Oh,
You're
gigantic.
fucking. Oh my god, you just reminded me of Gigantic. Oh my god, that game was so fucking fun. I played it in beta so much.
And then Perfect World came in. They swooped up on Motiga, and then they shut Motiga down.
Oh.
Yeah, because that
Well,
game
that-
never released, right? That game never came out.
I don't know if it ever got out of beta.
I don't think Gigantic. Do you guys know about the game Scalebound?
Yes.
No.
Fuck.
So
Why do
okay,
you have to bring that up?
that was by Microsoft. Then they canned it. Then it was bought by Nintendo and is now supposedly maybe being made.
It's going to be some massive changes though, because
Exactly.
the main
Well,
character,
The
I remember
developer was
I remember so many
Platinum
details that were
Games.
unique. The main character was left-handed and had that kind of Star-Lord kind of snarkiness to him.
He had, you know what he reminded me of big time? Nero.
Yeah, a little bit.
Remind me of
Little bit.
Nero. Yeah.
But just all these unique game ideas that I thought were really good. Like I wasn't very good at Lawbreakers, but it was a really well done game. I thought.
I was dog ass at
Right.
Lawbreakers.
Like is
I never played it enough. I think I played it. I think I loaded up, played one match, and then
it was R-rated Overwatch. That's what it was. That was Lawbreakers. course, with some gravity.
Overwatch was the reason why it died.
I would
That
have.
kinda-
I
that
remember
goes
I
with
watched
Battleborn to an extent, too.
I watched
Battleborn came out the
there was
same
a post
time as
from
Overwatch.
there's this one YouTuber who does death of a
game.
game, right? And he has like this cool detective theme in his channel. It's so cool. I love it.
I've heard of that one. I've heard
And
of that one, and then I know Matt
I've
Muscles.
watched the Lawbreakers episode too.
Matt
I
Muscles,
watched
I know, he
Lawbreakers.
Does, what happened? Like he does like what happened to this game, you know?
Mhm.
Yeah.
I
'Cause
did
he did it for Too
Lawbreakers.
Human. He did it
or-
for Too Human. What happened?
I
to Too
watched Lawbreakers and I watched Evolve, Death of a Game
Human?
on that channel.
That
Evolve
one is the
died-
one that stabs me right in my soul. Is Evolve, because that was my game. I was so good. at
Evolve was really good. The
I was
reason
so
why
good.
it died was the monetization.
It was no, they fucked it up.
You're right.
It's 100% on the company. The game was great. It
They
was
even
2K.
they even locked out a monster.
2K.
They even locked out a
they locked
monster.
out two monsters. Two monsters.
Two monsters behind pre-order.
Behemoth and you're talking about Behemoth and the Spider.
Kraken.
Behemoth and
No, the Spider, not the Kraken. Kraken was base game. You had Kraken, Wraith, and Goliath in base game that you could all
But
play.
there was
Okay.
an alternate Kraken, wasn't there?
There was
yes,
an
that
alternate
was not
Kraken.
money though. That was like pre-order, I believe. And then
Okay.
if you bought
Yeah, that's
the
what I'm saying.
special
It's
edition,
locked pre-order.
Yeah, and if you bought the special edition, which anybody could buy that,
Yeah, there was
you
an
would get a
alternate
golden
Goliath, I
Goliath.
remember
You
that,
would get the
and then
golden
there was-
Goliath.
Yeah,
That's what I was talking about there.
There was the spider one.
Yeah,
that
there was the
the
Storm Kraken, is what you're thinking of.
Yeah,
Mhm.
exactly. That's
Mhm.
100%.
Like I said, I remember everything. Then they released a Wraith one with the season pass. You had to buy the season pass to get the Wraith one.
It was horrible, man.
It was not. No, it
Is-
was stupid. It was. They were just skins, pretty much. But here's the thing. But the Kraken one specifically, you're actually 100% right. The Kraken one specifically did one thing different. It had a different like Thunderbolt type thing. It
Yeah.
did, where
It was-
the effect lasted longer but did less damage.
I
Mhm.
think the Storm Kraken was meant to stay in the air longer.
100. Well, that's just Kraken in general. That's Kraken in general.
Yeah, that is Kraken.
Kraken was the flying monster. Goliath was the ground monster.
Then
Wraith
Behemoth
was all
came
about
out, and
speed.
that thing was almost impossible.
Behemoth was all about defense. Behemoth
Yeah.
was all about defense, and the Spider was about locking down the players and killing them.
Yeah. See, I don't think I ever experienced the spider. I think I left before
Me
the
neither.
The
spider.
Spider was the most OP broken
Was
thing
it?
ever. Yes.
When
nerfed
I
it because
played
the game died.
Kraken was OP.
See, and I
It was
love-
until they nerfed Kraken.
I love stuff like that where you can. I think if they'd have combined an idea like
I was a Kraken
Evolve,
player. I was a Kraken main, so.
combine an
You're a scum.
idea like Evolve with an idea like Back for Blood.
Ooh,
Ooh, yeah.
how so?
Dead versus modes where like you could have more players on the enemy team that are controlling like lesser monsters,
See,
right?
that's my whole problem with these. Okay, the asymmetrical like 4v1 games that are coming out nowadays, right? These fucking DVDs, these
Oh.
VHSs, these fucking like I'm trying to even think of another one right now. Death Garden. That was a good one though. But
Death Garden was
Oh,
very
like
no.
okay, they're coming out with these new games, and VHS is literally a better version of DVD, but it probably still won't do as well because
But-
DVD has so much influence now,
Yeah.
and it's disgusting.
It's the
Don't get me started on that
wannabe-
game.
No, we all dislike it. We all have reasons.
I hate.
I put hours upon hours into the game. I know why it's fucking just.
I just hate that
disgusting.
was out of that and Death Garden. Death
They
Garden,
chose that.
Was,
Yeah.
That was the successful one.
Yeah.
Why?
Why? Because Death Garden had so many cool mechanics. You had the bow, which you could use
Yes.
stun grenades, flash grenades, fucking decoys. You could shoot an arrow across the map to make sound so that they would
Yeah.
go there.
Like,
I
and it
never
was- it
properly
was
played Death
panic-inducing
Garden.
and terrifying.
It
If
was
you
so
died,
fun.
it
I
was
would
your fault.
load it up right now if I could, but they shut down the
Oh,
servers.
Good God, same with like that. Death Garden and Gigantic, I think, are my top two
Yeah.
laments of games that are no longer around.
The
My
one
big- like I
game
said,
that
my
got
big
me
one's
crying
Evolve and Battleborn for me. It's Evolve.
The
and
game that
Battleborn,
got
which
me
are both
crying-
2K.
was Ghost Recon Phantoms
Oh,
because that game disappeared
that
before
game.
I got good, and I was sad.
I own it. I have it. I have a physical copy for the Xbox 360 in my box over there.
Phantoms?
Yes.
Holy! I have the
I own
Steam
that game. I
copy
played it
of
with my
it
buddy
still.
Alan, for a while. On
It was
Xbox.
riddled with microtransactions though, so like
Oh, it was
it was
horrible.
very pay to win, but at the same time it was so fun, bro. Like
Then Ghost Recon went fuck it and released
yeah.
Wildlands.
And then there was
Oh my
no,
God.
I'm talking like Ghost Recon Phantoms, like the multiplayer shooter.
Oh, I played
Talk
it.
about
Yeah, with like
you-
you're talking about like the 4-player co-op thing, like.
No. It was like a straight up Steam release
I don't remember this then,
multiplayer
maybe not.
shooter.
Wait,
I got you.
I thought I
Hold on.
had this one. I thought we were talking about the same one, but no. Wait, so you're saying Ghost?
It's not on Steam anymore. They completely pulled it.
It's gone. Oh fuck. Let me look it up then.
Yeah, Ghost
Yeah,
Recon
no, that's-
Phantoms.
That's crazy, dude. Like, why?
It was so
I
fun,
get why
bro.
games die. Obviously, right? There's always a reason. But some
Yeah.
games, it's literally because of the fucking person behind it. Like, they choose to kill the game. Like Death Guard, they didn't need to kill that. They had the money to run it still. They
They
definitely do.
absolutely did.
They're DBD. They're making some of the most money on Steam.
Death Garden. I would love to have Death Garden back.
It's like,
I wouldn't mind it.
ugh.
I
it
was
a
never much
fun
of a
game.
fan
Like I said, I
of-
still own it. I think. I don't think they took it out of like my list.
I was never much of a fan of horror, but
Yeah.
Death Garden
It
was
wasn't horror as
interesting.
much, though. It
I
wasn't
just
really the horror
didn't
that much.
get into it, if you know what I mean. I actually didn't really get into it.
I have the only 5 achievements you can get for the game.
It's interesting that you say that because there were so many hunters with so many different like unique abilities and skills
So
and
it
trying
was,
to
what
shoot.
was it, 3 or 4? I want to say.
Trying to shoot 4 or 5, I thought.
I thought it was 3
It
or
was
4.
crazy
it
because
was the
I actually
Butcher.
pre-ordered
three.
Death Garden.
I remember the Butcher, I remember the Sniper, and I remember the assault rifle guy.
I think the butcher was the fat guy, right? There
With the
was
shotgun.
also
With the shotgun, yeah.
there was also the assault rifle guy that had like the traps. So he was like
Yeah,
the
he
trapper
was the
type.
main guy. You got it first.
And then I do remember the huntress who was the sniper girl that made it into Dead by Daylight.
Yeah, but she had a gun in that.
Yeah, and there was one more after that I thought, and I don't remember what it was.
You know what's even more fucked up? If you pay
No.
attention to like people that play DBD, some of them are wearing the death garden mask. Because that was a cosmetic you could get. That was a cosmetic
Yep.
you could get if you had
Yep.
both games.
I'm
Yep.
looking through
And
my
in- and in
Steam library.
In a DBD, you can make your character look like Meg.
God
Or
damn
not
it.
DBD, sorry,
You're
in
looking
Death
through your
Guard.
Steam library for what?
Death Garden. Because I remember I pre-ordered the game.
It's in mine.
Yeah, it's mine. Death Garden Blood Harvest.
Yeah, it's still
Mhm.
there. I want to download it just to see what you can do even in the game now.
I don't
I
think
wonder
you
if
can do
still
anything.
set up your own server in it. Like,
If you can
maybe.
set up a private lobby, if you had 5 people, you could still play the game.
Really?
If you
I
could
wouldn't
set up a
mind.
private lobby, I'm saying. If you could. This is all...
I wouldn't
you could.
mind if we could do it.
Same thing with
I
Evolve.
wouldn't
Here's
mind.
the thing. Okay, I need to talk about this actually, real quick. Okay, so Evolve, right? If you own the OG Evolve on PC, right? You bought it with money, okay? You can
Hmm.
actually load up lobbies and play the game still.
I have Stage 2, the one you get for free.
That's free. You don't work. Doesn't work. Nope. You're fucked. Just like me. I own the game
sucks.
physically.
I
I own the
bought
game.
them.
I own the game on Xbox One, but I did not buy it on PC.
bought it on PC.
Because you know why? Because when I got it, I didn't have the PC to run it.
Sad. I didn't have money at the time, or a way to spend money. So
I mean, the only reason I had money is because I was fucking. I think I sold some cigarettes and shit.
Nasty.
Well, man, whatever gets you money to buy your video games, right?
This is
Yeah.
true. Fucking
I
drug
wasn't
dealer.
smoking them. I
Man.
don't fucking. I hate cigarettes.
I
Ugh,
like how we're
nasty.
reminiscing about like all these like video games that like just don't exist anymore. And
No,
I'm
they
like,
don't, and it's so sad.
bro,
It's just
like
stuff
it
that you
sits in
just
my
have to know,
library.
right? Like,
It's a relic.
Bro, like then there's other games too, like that are just lost to history in general. Like I was saying, like Lost Kingdoms. I was just talking about that game series earlier. It got 2 games, and then, do you guys know the game series Custom Robo?
yeah, I
No.
know of it. Yeah.
That's my fucking favorite GameCube game, pretty much. Like Custom Robo is like my game. I love it so much, and it's like 2 games. It got like 2 games, and one of them's a handheld game. And I want to. Why do people like to put good games and ruin them by putting them on a handheld? Why do people like to do that? That's what they did with most of the Monster Hunters. They're fucked because they're on handhelds. That's a giant problem.
Dude, Now I'm actually just looking through my Steam list to see games that are in my library that you just cannot play anymore.
Yeah, no, I got a good couple too. I just can't think
Oh,
of them.
I forgot I have Hellblade now. Thanks, Vic.
I have the culling. Yeah, you can't play the culling anymore. I have that.
Yep,
That's
I
another
have
game that
it.
died. The
Oh, it's a
best BR
BR.
that ever existed.
It was a really
died.
good
First
BR.
and it should have been the last one.
The
was a
best
good
BR.
BR.
Literally, I loved that game because you could create punji sticks, put them on the ground, have somebody walk through them, and then throw your fucking spear at their face and kill them. Like,
I wish
and
I
then you
got
could
a chance to
craft
try out the
bow.
culling.
And then you had like that really cool mechanic which was called funk. You had like funk, which was a currency that you could use to buy a care package, which was your loadout that you preset in the lobby. And it would come down with like, let's say your loadout had like let's say a strength buff, a bow, and a knife. Like it might have that in it. Like that's I love that feature. I love that mechanic. It's so cool.
Right.
They tried to do that kind of with Warzone a little bit, but it's not the same. You know.
Oh, dude, there's this one game. Oh shit. Oh, what was that game called?
He's having a wee moment. Oh no.
Nosgoth.
I hate those.
Nosgoth!
Nosgoth!
Oh, that was in the fucking the Legacy of Kain series. It's part of the fucking that
was.
universe. It's part of the
This-
Soul Reaver
I
universe.
love
Nosgoth?
that whole like classes versus like the vampire.
Dude, I played the shit out of Nosgoth.
Good God,
I played the shit out of that game.
that was a hard game, but yeah,
was.
Nosgoth.
But I remember playing it, and I remember like it was hard to be a hunter, and it was hard to be a vampire. Like it was
Yeah,
hard.
yeah.
It was just like you had to be smart.
Dude.
You had to use your abilities to your advantage.
Dude, Nosgoth was back when I used to use my single core AMD laptop to play video games.
Dio, wait.
Holy crap!
Wait, time out. I think if we actually go back about 5 years, I think me and Dio might have played Nosgoth together.
Maybe hey.
I'm not even joking. I think we might have played a match. Because I played that a good bit.
I
if-
don't
and
think
if
we
Dio was
did
playing it, I
because I
probably
had a
would've been like,
shit
yo.
laptop. I had a shit
played it,
laptop.
But it wouldn't have but I talked to you back then.
Last time I played it was January 29th, 2015.
I don't think it's in my list anymore.
It
It's gone 'cause
is
it's a
on
free game,
mine.
right?
Last time I played it was July 27th, 2015.
How do you spell it?
Nosgoth.
T-H.
No, I don't have it here. Yeah. Yeah, so
Constant
mine's not here. I did play it for free though. I don't know if you had to buy it before.
Hey Vic, do you
Yeah.
remember a time when you waited 69 hours to get your graphics card?
69 hours. What?
Waited at Micro
this
Center apparently.
Oh no, it was at Best Buy.
But
That's funny.
Because I got a notification that they were going on for, they were giving out the 3080 Ti Founders Edition or something.
Hmm.
Their 3070 Ti Founders, it was something like
Mhm.
that. It was gonna be like $1,400, but I said fuck it. I wanted a graphics card. I was gonna go there, and y'all, I waited there for 4 hours. I want to say, and they were giving out the tickets for the people that's standing in line, and it ended like 5 people in front of me. I was like, oh,
That's
Oh, that
dumb.
hurts.
for the
That
36
hurts.
though, for
Oh,
like
that-
half that price.
So I'm scrolling through my Steam list a little bit, right, Vic? This is this is a game you'll remember because I used to kick your ass at it.
Fighties.
Blade Symphony.
Oh, Blade Symphony.
I used to
Fucking
fucking
Blade-
shred that game.
Oh,
I
yeah.
was so good. Like I don't mean to be cocky, but I was good.
So awkward though.
That
I
it
still-
was
you wanna know-
funky as fuck. I managed to get it down, but it was so funky.
You want to know? You want to know something funny?
What?
If I go into my inventory, I still have copies of that to give away. You know, it's free to play.
That's funny as
have-
fuck.
I have 1 copy of that. I have 1 copy of Blood of the Werewolf. I have 4 copies of Breach, which I'm never going to give away because that game fucked itself. It was fun at first, but it fucked itself. 2 copies of Duck Game, 1 copy of Guns of Icarus, Unknown Package 40. Includes Team Fortress Classic, Half-Life Opposing Force, Half-Life Blue Shift, Jotun, Killing Floor, Left 4 Dead 2, Painkiller,
believe it's Jotun.
Pandemic Express, which is apparently free to play now. Sacred Citadel, Slain, Back from Hell, and Xenoclash 2, which is actually really good.
I'm
See,
curious.
I only have 2 games.
I have a question for you
and
guys.
one
Do
of
you guys remember
one of them
these
is
games?
Final exam. What?
Divine Souls
No. Doesn't sound familiar.
or Alliance of Valiant Arms?
Don't know
Doesn't
that
sound
one. No.
Oh.
Don't
So
know that.
Divine Souls was, I believe, it was like this fighting game. Like
Okay.
it was like a third-person fighting game. It was really cool. You had like different
Third-person
characters you could
fighting game,
pick.
okay.
It was like an arena fighter.
Okay, so like Naruto style.
Mm-hmm.
Divine
And
Soul.
then, yeah, and then there was Alliance of Valiant Arms. It was a shooter, kind of like CS:GO.
Oh, dude. Yeah, that's cool. Like that sounds pretty
Mhm.
decent. I remember, like I was saying though, I have 3 copies of Final Exam because it's a 4-player co-op game, and I bought the game for myself and 3 copies, but I never gave them away because I didn't have anybody that wanted them.
Damn.
But it's like a side-scroller beat 'em up zombie apocalypse game thing.
Right.
It's not side-scroller. It's like platformer. Sorry. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
But it is side-scroller. It's side-scroller platformer, but it's not beat 'em up. Sorry. But
Mhm.
you do beat up the enemies, but you know whatever. Then I have 1 copy of Talisman, which is a fun game. It's kind of D&D-ish. You roll dice. You have to travel up like the thing until you get to the center, and then you fight the final boss. You win. You're fighting your other teammates though. Like you're not on a team. You fight the other people. Like, and you can
Another
die
one.
and you reset.
Here's one that you'll remember, Beast. Somebody mentioned
Oh.
Air Brawl. Do you remember fucking Air Brawl?
Of course, I remember Air Brawl. Fucking,
does-
I remember.
Oh.
I don't even remember what weapon I used to use. I know.
It was
I know
a
you use
little
the
before your
barrels because you're an
time, but
asshole.
Air Brawl. I wonder if Air Brawl still works.
It does, 100%. It has.
Does
to.
it still
Like,
work?
I refuse. I don't know. I'm guessing, but like, if it doesn't, I'm gonna be upset.
I have in mind to install it right after this pod is over.
Same. But another side, like one more game that I want to mention, and it's a game that I think everybody would enjoy because it's very fun and it's up to 4-player co-op, I believe, or not. Well, not co-op, but you know, co-op to an extent. It's called 100-foot robot golf.
What? Oh, I think I did. Game Grumps have played that, haven't they?
I don't know. I bought it with Nags, and Nags owns it. If we ever get 2 more fucking people, we would do a full game, and it's fucking so
good
ridiculous
God.
because you have different powers and shit as like the robots. So like
You're
one
lasing the
robot,
crap out of each other while
Yeah,
you're trying to make
you
a
can
shot.
literally somebody's trying to take a shot, and then you just go bee. Like it's so
Yo,
funny.
Vic.
That sounds
so
like the
funny.
perfect Ryu game. I'm not gonna lie. Just
It's
full
great.
chaos.
It's a great game.
Full
It's
chaos.
so fun. And like
Yo,
I said, there's a
Vic.
bunch of robot references, obviously
Right.
too.
Do you remember the horror game that you used to that you were giving away keys for? Doorways, Holy Mountains of Flesh.
Holy mountains of flesh.
Yeah.
Already
you
downloaded
need
it?
that
That
then.
fucking game.
Yeah. You know, it was funny because I actually tried playing that game once on stream.
Yeah.
This was young Dio days.
Yeah.
5 minutes in, I was too scared and I quit.
But see,
I can't say I blame you.
Yeah.
no. Do you
Terrifying
remember?
game.
I don't remember if Vic remembers the first time that I streamed Outlast. Right? I went into this game like I was terrified. Right?
Uh-huh.
The little piggy got me so good when he grabs you through the
Yeah.
bookshelf. Like that fucked me. That fucked me bad. Oh, dude. And then I went a little bit further, and then I stopped at a point. Right? I can't remember what point I stopped at, but I stopped. Then I came back like months later to the game. And I went in, and I was like, none of this is scary now. And I fucking Terminator through everything. Fine. It's until I got to the goddamn sewer because I have a fear of water in video games. I think something was gonna grab me and pull me down.
Oh, so Amnesia was not very nice to you.
Oh, I don't play that game. I refuse. I refuse to play the first one because of the fucking water monster. I refuse. Yeah, no. But like I was literally.
So we shouldn't take him to
Walking
luxury
through
on
this-
World in VR.
I was fucking. Oh, I hated it though. I was going through this fucking. This water area, and then what happened was he was walking around in the water too, and you had to get to like the center to climb the ladder. And I'm like, he's camping it. What do you want me to do? I'm over there on like the left. I'm like, what?
Oh,
I love it.
dude.
It's so
That
great.
Airball still launches.
It does,
Do
I
you guys
can tell.
remember the game that Jack Black was in? Brutal Legend?
Dude, yes. the rock and roll fucking decapitation game.
It was the rock and roll
And then there was a tower defense
RPG with tower defense and turn-based shit. It was crazy.
One of my favorite lines, and I use it all the time, literally, is from that game, which is just decapitation. Just that's literally what it's from. What's up?
Airbrawl is free now.
No
that doesn't
shot.
surprise me.
What is there, bro?
What is Air Brawl?
It's a dogfighting game.
Cop?
I would love to test this and see if it still works.
Do you guys remember Double Action Boogaloo?
Yes.
I do.
It
Yes.
still gets
Yes.
updated. It
Yes.
still gets
Really?
updated. Yeah.
Damn. Okay. Jesus.
I just
Alright,
looked
well,
at Double Action Boogaloo and it was like there. Anyway, yo,
Yeah,
I lost
so
track
that's
of
what
time.
That's what I was gonna do. I was gonna do the hosting thing.
Hell yeah, dude. Go for it. You haven't
That was
been
a
here
lot
you've been here in a long time, so end it out for us cuz we're hitting or we have hit and we're past the 12er.
Yeah.
So, run that.
What, you want me to do it my way or what?
Oh, up to you, man. Just Vic it up, dog.
Rub your good
Right.
on
Well, thank you everybody for coming to the D.I.P.S.H.I.T.S podcast. We always enjoy having you wonderful people here, both the Twitch chat and our audio listeners, which will be listening to this later on in the week.
And the
This is
YouTube
gonna be
people.
every Wednesday, 10 p.m. Pacific Standard Time with our host Diogen Rochi and whichever guest that he chooses. I've been Victor7. This has been Beast,
Hi,
and we will see you folks later. Thank you.
Maple.
Take care, everybody.